Happer and Schaefer. Happer and Schaefer. Happer and wow, Schaefer. It's Happer and Mike.
All right, good morning and welcome in. Happy Friday. It is Happer and Schaefer here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer, Mike Schaefer, Joey Warcola. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Connor. Good morning, Mike.
Oh, I thought you were going to name a city or something like that afterwards.
No, I was debating on a third person, but I don't want to go back to that tradition.
Okay.
Well, look,
I'll
Joey,
leave it to you, Connor. I'll leave it to you, Connor.
No. I'll take it this time.
Okay.
I'm going to say good morning to Joey. And I'm going to say good morning to Connor. And I'm going to say good morning to football.
Good morning, Haynes King. Good morning, Haynes King. Diving in, sacrificing his life to score a game-winning touchdown in a preseason game.
You might remember it fondly.
I don't think I will. I don't think I'll remember this at all.
Mike Tirico mentioned fondly during the game. I don't know if you caught that.
I did not.
Oh, he was trying to calm down Collinsworth the entire game.
Yes, he did.
That dude, one thing I appreciate about Collinsworth is he loves football. He loves football so much that he actually is in love with football. You know,
He was talking about flag football for a
what
moment.
what Matt McMaster wants to be with football.
Yeah, but it's so genuine. Yeah, it's so incredible.
Unbridled enthusiasm for football.
Unbridled enthusiasm, 100%. He was trying to unconvince himself that Carson Beck was not going to be the starter like 4 seconds into the game last night.
Wow.
He was leading him in the drive down the field, and he goes, oh, man, I think this Carson Beck guy's looking really comfortable, whatever it was. And then he started down the road of saying, well, yeah, and Tirico was just like, all right, enough. We're not creating a quarterback controversy on the first drive.
Was he like, well, Jacoby Brissett. So.
He didn't say anything about Jacoby Brisket.
Wow.
He just said, well, and Tirico knew exactly what that meant. And he was like, all right, we're not doing a quarterback controversy on the first drive of the first preseason game.
Wow.
Not tonight. Maybe next week. But he did look good.
You might appreciate, you probably won't, though. I ended up moving off of the football game for a little while because I just decided to watch Royals Twins.
Oh, great.
And, yeah.
Well, a lot of it was good again.
Well,
They got to about the 8th inning before it went poorly.
Yeah.
You gotta get prepped before Jake Sorensen shows up at 9:50.
Yeah, I think I got the Royals experience in the entire season.
I have to give you credit.
Game.
If you've seen one game, you've seen them all.
Did you watch the end of that one?
No, but I wasn't surprised to get because I always watch like some of it and then I end up doing something else. And then I wasn't surprised to get the notification at the end of a game. It's like, oh, the Royals lost a game that they were leading the entire time.
So did you know that they had a guy picked off at the bottom of the 9th inning?
No.
Yeah. So Tariah Tolbert gets on, and I don't know. I don't even think he was trying to steal
Tyler. His name is Tyler.
Yeah, I don't know why I said whatever that was.
You were thinking of Jariah Tolbert.
I think I was, and then I turned it into Tariah because I know the name started with a T. So that was
more simple. His name is Tyler.
Fascinating decision making in real time there. But so he ends up getting picked off, and I'm not even entirely sure that he was going to steal.
Awesome.
It's like he just fell asleep at first base. And, that was basically that.
Great.
The Royals.
Well, so you're telling me that it wasn't the bullpen? It wasn't whoever came in the
well,
ninth inning?
Yeah, I mean, someone came in and obviously gave up runs.
Got it.
That's just what happened to the Royals. But, the pickoff was just, I didn't allow myself to think that the guy was going to get picked off.
Oh, yeah, no. They're a horrible baseball team.
It really does seem
This is what horrible baseball teams do. They do
They're
bad
terrible.
things. They are terrible. They're truly awful.
I think my team is trending that direction.
No.
They got swept by the Mets.
Yes, it happens. Okay.
They're under 500
They're going to
now.
be exactly 500 at the end of the season.
I don't want to be
like
exactly
everybody
500.
said. The Royals are going to lose probably 100 games, And you're going to sit here and be like, yeah, my Guardians are trending in that direction. Shut up. No, they're not.
They're trending. They're not in the exact spot.
They're not going to be there.
Trending.
They're not going to be there.
I don't want to be.
It would take them another 15 years to trend in the Royals direction at this rate.
Well, the Royals would need to win 15 more to prevent losing 100 games at this point with 48 wins and 68 losses.
Okay. All right. Do the math on that. How many games do they have left? 48 plus 68?
That would be about
116. So they need to win.
They need to win 15 more.
So there's 46 games left.
They need to win 15 out of 46.
Yeah, they'll do that.
They should be fine.
Yeah.
They should be fine.
I don't think there's going to be anybody.
They're going to win 20 games.
Okay.
Out of 46.
All right.
So they'll be, what is that?
They're going to lose 95.
Okay. They can live with that.
Well, I mean, you were kind of supposed to contend this year, but you know.
Once that went out the window,
you can now live with 95.
Well, as long as you're under 100.
Hey, I don't know what's worse, that or just looking at this roster and saying, actually, you know what? This works. We got a bad result this year. Let's try it again. Let's bring Seth Lugo and Michael Walker back for another year. That definitely will work again. They definitely won't get hurt. Noah Cameron has pitched well over the last 3 starts.
I did forget to mention that it was Aaron Bummer again for the Royals.
I did notice that in the box score.
Unfortunately, has not gone well.
Well, why? Who would have thought that it would have gone well?
Well, I was hoping for Aaron Bummer it would go well.
I was hoping for Aaron Bummer that it would have gone well, but when he's bounced around a little bit and then he ends up in the Royals bullpen, a bullpen that doesn't have anyone who is good, you probably are thinking, "Uh-oh, this is not a good thing."
Yeah, it's one of those years where every one of the bullpen arms has just been touched up.
May I say,
Daniel Lynch has been pretty good.
Yeah, and guess what they're going to do with Daniel Lynch now? They're going to give him a start. What a great idea. A terrible idea. He's been an awesome reliever for the last 2 years. And they're like, oh, let's go. Let's put him in the rotation again. We're going to give him a crack. When has that ever not worked out before?
Yeah.
Every time. Every single time. So weird. So dumb. May I say this, by the way? We have to get off the conversation with Royals because I'll trigger myself all show long today. You look great.
Thank you.
Your beard, I can see your upper lip for the first time in months. Honestly, I think you look like an AI version of yourself.
Oh, okay. I like it.
I see a lot of lip, a lot of teeth.
Okay.
So yesterday's crossover between the midday show and the afternoon show was soft hands, and now it's upper lip for the morning show.
He's showing the upper lip.
It felt good to have a beard trim and to get a haircut and look like a functioning member of society again.
I think you already looked like a functioning member of society, but now maybe even more functional.
So.
More functional. Yeah, the beard is nice.
For other parts of society.
And so am I to understand that you have now found a nice groove?
It feels like after, 3 appearances, I can safely, this is a safe option.
Okay.
I'm not like 100% committed that this is a long-term thing.
That's okay.
But for now,
wait till something else comes
to
up.
See each other when my face needs to meet a razor.
Awesome.
So
I'm really happy for you.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I was happy with it. You never know.
You know, when the upper lip starts showing up, then something has happened. Usually this show is showing, amongst us two anyway. Joey, you're always showing the upper lip.
Yeah.
Yes,
but when one of us two is showing the upper lip, there's something coming up, there's some sort of an event or something like that.
Or it's just long overdue.
And that was the case for Mike Schaefer. Yeah. Long overdue. All right. Well, welcome to a Friday show, everybody. We're happy that you're here. Football is not back. Stop saying that football is back.
Football's back.
Football's not back.
There was football on the television.
There's still another month till football.
All the other teams will be playing preseason next week. So we could kind of say it next Thursday, Schaefer, for all the 30 other teams.
Yeah, that also doesn't count.
I don't know.
That also doesn't count.
You're an idiot.
I'm not.
It feels like football.
I mean, it is football. The football is there, but football is not
football.
back.
It's not like...
In order for football to be back, it has to have stakes. You have to have emotion.
There are stakes for this. It's for the guys who normally don't get a roster spot. It's getting to that 53-man roster.
Yeah, but
Those
I never
are the
care
stakes.
who's on the 53-man roster. I only care about like the first 25 guys on every roster.
It's back in the sense that I can just have it on the television and not have to, like there's something there.
That was nice.
That's all it is. It's not back as in like emotionally I'm invested in it. It's not back in it's must-see television. It's back in that it can fill a spot on the television, and I can comfortably have it.
And here's the other thing that's going to happen throughout the preseason over the next couple of weeks. The regular broadcasters that you're used to for the NFL, you're not going to see those guys.
Yeah.
The guys are going to be like, I still am golfing, or I'm, recovering from a DUI.
It's like their last few days of summer vacation.
Exactly.
They're like trying to grab all of that for themselves.
Yeah, they're probably
one
watching
more
other
trip.
people do broadcasts of preseason games so they could get information.
They got to do their back to school shopping.
That's right. Buy a new backpack and pencils.
New highlighters and binders and whatnot.
A pencil box.
Yeah, it's
Someone's
possibly
got to get a
pencil box.
Trapper Keeper.
I don't know. I'd be curious if we surveyed all the broadcasters, how many of them have pencil boxes, like me.
I've never really thought
It's
about
nice to have all your. Now, some people.
You were
do.
the first person to openly talk about the pencil box.
My dear friend Jake Eisenberg, broadcaster for the excellent electric Kansas City Royals, as we just talked about, he loves those pens that have the 5 pens. I just can't.
The color.
Yeah, I just want. Yeah.
Yeah, the singular color, I think, would be an issue.
Also, I kind of like keeping book with a pencil. He does pens and whiteout. I know people who do it. I keep book with the pencil.
You want to talk about a thing that you spend, or I spend so much of my life using a pencil.
Yeah.
And writing.
Yeah. Pencils are
now,
dead.
Like, I'll use a pen, a handful of times a week, whatever. A pencil? I don't know the last time I picked up a pencil. Like a literal pencil.
Like a number 2 pencil?
Like a number 2 pencil.
Like a wooden pencil.
Or even a mechanical pencil.
Even a mechanical pencil.
7 of the lead.
Mm-hmm.
No idea.
Oh.
It has been months at least.
You should come to a baseball game with me and keep book. Maybe you do it with the pencil.
Man, I haven't kept book in years.
Man, you could knock out a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I guess. If that's what I was looking to do, I certainly would consider.
It could be fun.
Well,
first part of the season, it'll be nice and warm.
Yeah,
first part of the season, it'll be nice and warm. John will probably be gone. We'll need a broadcaster.
Okay.
I would imagine.
I will even commit to showing my upper lip.
All right. This is a lot of different things that we're agreeing to this morning, which I'm excited about. So it's Friday. We have many things to get to. Our city of the day. Day is coming up in just a little bit. Unfortunately, we did not again find a city in the western part of the United States.
That's okay because we had back-to-back weeks of West Coast cities.
Oh, did we? What did we do the last 2 weeks? I wasn't here.
Seattle was
First
last
dibs.
week.
That's fun.
And then
We
I
did-
forget what
we did Boise the week before.
Oh, Boise the week
when
before.
Nick was here because we were previewing Boise from Phil Steele's magazine.
Okay.
So we
Seattle
just sort
and
of
Boise.
invented reasons to pick cities out there.
That's cool.
So it kind of worked. And then, this week we have the chance to become offensive coordinators in Akron, Ohio.
That's true.
So why not learn more about the city?
And LeBron James.
And LeBron James,
We're
its
always
most famous resident.
We're always going to We're going to Akron, Ohio for this Friday's.
Does he still occupy
City
that
of the-
mansion over there?
I
I remember.
I just heard someone talk about him still having a house in Akron.
Why would you sell it? Right?
I don't know because he was he was on the Los Angeles Lakers and that's a better climate for people in
Well, I
their
know, but
later stages of the
you
career.
could still have the house and not live there.
Yeah,
That's
so
true.
he still has a $10 million estate in Akron, Ohio that
Absolutely.
has a public interactive museum experience dedicated to his life in the city.
I am curious about.
Would you go to the LeBron James Akron? Well, should we save this for City of the Day?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm curious about the Akron airport situation and
Okay.
what happens over there. So yes, we get a comment from YouTube from Thomas who says, "Confirmed that Connor Happer hates Quentin Newsom." No, I did see him punch out that fumble though. You see Quentin Newsom get busy last night?
I didn't know.
So apparently,
Punched it out against my
peanut
Panthers.
punch the fumble.
Yeah, pretty
You
much.
have to say peanut punch.
No, it wasn't a peanut punch,
So
but he
apparently-
punched it.
So apparently, I was told that Heinrich Harber was on the Carolina Panthers, but I did not see him on the roster, so I don't know what happened with him with Carolina. But
Probably
I
got cut.
would
You
assume
might have
so.
just been on a rookie camp situation.
Probably.
Panthers added tight end to the roster May 20th, 2026.
I'm guessing it was just a rookie camp.
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
Yeah, I would imagine
That makes sense.
he didn't make it to the preseason roster, but that's okay. Here's what it said, by the way, in the Heinrich Harburg is signed to the Panthers press release. A former starting quarterback at Nebraska, he got time at tight end throughout his years with the Cornhuskers, evolving from a Taysom Hill-esque gadget player into a full-time tight end.
Someone say Taysom Hill.
Someone
Wow.
did say Taysom Hill. Unfortunately, he was not much of a Taysom Hill-like
You
figure
know,
at Nebraska.
one of our options for City of the Day could have been wherever Taysom Hill is from. Where do we think he's from?
Utah would be my guess.
I would say Idaho.
Close. Correct. He's from Pocatello, Idaho.
Pocatello.
Believe that's where Idaho State is at.
Oh, cool.
Yes, I want to say yes, but I confident it's
I
no.
apologize. I don't know.
I think it's
Pocatello,
Idaho.
yeah.
Okay.
Idaho State.
All right. Cool. Nice. Well, shout out to Taysom Hill.
Yeah. Our guy.
Fondly.
All right. So elsewhere today, we have Jake Sorensen coming up at the 9 o'clock hour. We have our City of the Day. We have our Friday shout outs. Get those in however you'd like to get in touch with the show. We have some guys to talk about for Nebraska football. I have a Dana Holgerson video that we could play. He's talking about Colandrea. Close your ears, guy who thinks there's too much Colandrea hype. I have more.
Oh, no.
I have more, which is exciting. The Purdue athletic director tries something interesting yesterday. We'll see if it goes well for him. Some college volleyball TV stuff and college football villains. There was that list yesterday from ESPN that we need to dive into today. And then Schaefer has asked a Creighton-specific version of the villains list. And I saw it for the first time this morning when I sat down, and I ripped off a couple names. And I'm curious to hear what people would think about that.
All right.
So let us know. 402-951-1620. That's how you get in touch with the show on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. You can call or text that number. Tweet at us at HappenSchafe, at Connor Happer, at Mike J. Schaefer on the Liquid Trucking Zone Twitter feed. Email Connor, Mike, or Joey at 1620thezone.com on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox.
Who's that huge guy?
And we say good morning to our YouTube streamers today. Hi, YouTube streamers. Thanks for being here.
Good
We appreciate you. People are trying to convince me that football is back, but I still feel it feels like summer to me, even though there is a lot of fog outside. So be careful out there this morning. All right, we'll take a break. We're off and running on a Friday on 1620 The Zone. Plenty of contests online at 1620thezone.com right now, including but not limited to, of course, our trip to the Oregon game. The Wrigley Field one is wrapped up. And then the golf tournament, which is not really a contest as much as you having the opportunity to have some fun with us in a couple weeks. But also Chris Stapleton, Motionless in White, and Bert Kreischer, you could enter to win all of those on our website, 1620thezone.com. We love when new figures come into college athletic departments, and they have so many dreams, they have so many thoughts, they have such a vision about what is going to happen during their tenure. Head coaches come in and say, we're here to take it all. I think
there's vision with this line.
All of the history should be thrown out the window because it doesn't matter anymore. Well, this is new Purdue athletic director Tommy McClelland, who is succeeding longtime Purdue athletic director Mike Babinski. He's got the job. Congratulations to Tommy. And he had an opening press conference yesterday in West Lafayette, at which he said this.
Recruit, every current student athlete will hear this message repeatedly. We are here to win championships. If you don't want to win championships, go to Indiana.
Very funny. But is that true?
No. In fact, it's not.
You're an idiot.
Like, I understand.
I think he's trying to Signetti it. I think he was trying to Signetti it.
But one, there's no energy in it.
No. His name is Tommy, unfortunately. I mean, you can't do that.
Ryan
being named Tommy.
Silverfield's questioning this guy's aura.
Yeah, I think so.
And then it's a line like someone's got to edit that for you. Like that's got to just come out.
You think so?
If there's a way that you can deliver it where you got a big smile and everybody knows it's kind of a tongue-in-cheek thing and whatever else, it's kind of a wink, like, hey, that's our rival. If we're not good enough for you, maybe you should go there. We'll kick your ass when you go there. But there's none of that. It's like,
no. He went straight to it.
If you don't want to win.
I think he heard the Signetti speech. It was like, I think I have to do something. I think I have to do something like that. Remember when he went to the basketball game?
Oh, yeah. No, I know. That was my
everyone's
introduction to Kurt Signetti. And I was like, this guy is ridiculous.
Yeah, I hate this guy.
What a moron.
Yeah. And then to his credit, he ended up like being right,
Purdue is not winning championships.
What could make you so sure? Indiana just won a national championship in football.
What championships do you think Purdue is competing in 20?
I don't have any idea, but I sure as hell didn't think that Indiana would win a national championship in football. Certainly not within 2 years.
Okay.
Certainly they wouldn't have 2 playoff appearances.
I'm willing to play the odds.
Maybe this is Signetti part 2.
No, I'm willing to play the odds. This is not AD Signetti. He's got nothing about him that says Signetti.
According to a quick Al here, Purdue has won, I believe, 3 national championships in school history. Maybe he's not talking about specifically national championships. Maybe he's just talking about Big Ten championships or any sort, like Paradise Jam championships or something like that. I'm not sure exactly what he's referencing.
Crown championships.
Maybe they win a crown this year.
Good luck with that, dude.
They won a golf championship, a men's golf championship, a women's golf championship, and a women's basketball championship. That is what they have won.
So Tommy McClelland.
Tommy, my guy.
Got his administrative career started as a GA with Northwestern State.
Nice.
And then he was an intern over for the Southland Conference.
Yeah.
He was a coordinator for McNeese State in 2006, 2007. By 2008, he's already the interim AD. So, he's 3 years into his career. The guy's only 44. So, I mean, he is he's moving his way up. So he's been an AD since 2008. He's an AD at McNeese State, Louisiana Tech, then was a deputy at Vanderbilt before going to Rice and now Purdue.
Yes.
That's a lot of places that haven't won titles.
That is true. I mean, maybe conference titles, like you said. What do you think? I think he's doing the exact right thing. I think he got everyone's dogging him for this thing. Everyone's dogging him. They're
Maybe
saying
we're talking about Purdue, so that counts for something.
exactly. They're
You know,
dogging him.
because-
They're going up there and they're saying, "Man, this guy can't say this. Are you kidding me?" And I'm saying, absolutely, we need more of this. Keep doing this, Tommy.
I would like more of this, but I just need some energy with it. Like there's, you're going to deliver that line, like have something to it.
Usually, athletic directors go for the line of, "We're going to compete for championships
Sure.
here at whatever school. We're going to just so don't come here unless you want to compete for championships." But I've never heard it this way. We are going to win championships. And if you don't want to win championships, you should specifically go to the school that very recently won a championship in the most important sport. That's a different angle that I've never heard before.
It is a unique one to Tommy McClellan dreamed up. And again, I'm just saying, like,
He
I
could
don't
have used so many different schools.
I don't hate this idea of
What if you would have
having.
thrown some shade at Akron? It would be like,
Yeah,
hey, if you
look.
don't want to win championships, go to Akron.
Maybe he didn't want to punch down to Akron. Maybe he's trying to keep his options open in case Akron needs to be a landing spot.
Maybe,
at some point in time. I'm just saying, if you're going to do this, like, be committed to it.
I know.
Like
It
I
didn't
can't.
seem like there was much commitment to
No,
it.
it honestly felt like he wanted to quit on it before he even got in there on it. He knew it wasn't going
He
to.
could have bailed out right at the last
Right.
second. He could have bailed out. He could have said, go somewhere else. Go somewhere else.
Yeah.
That would have been great. He would have had plausible deniability that he wasn't talking about Indiana
Right.
at that point. But unfortunately, when you bring up Indiana, which hilariously is on an all-time heater right now,
Not
maybe-
basketball.
maybe he could have said basketball. Maybe he could have said
He could have very specifically said Indiana basketball, and everyone would have laughed.
go to Indiana and play basketball.
That people would have been like,
That
"Oh
would have
my
been really
gosh,
funny.
what a zinger!"
That would have been pretty funny.
Instead, he just said, "Go to Indiana,"
Just go to Indiana.
and then
where-
like some reporter gave him a
there was
chuckle.
a token laugh in there.
yeah, there was a chuckle
I
in
mean,
there.
It felt like there was maybe 5 or 6 different laughs in the room. So somebody got it, but maybe it felt like just sort of
You think it was a
awkward.
forced laugh?
Yeah, a little awkward.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too.
So Tommy, I wish you good luck, man. I really do. Purdue.
Good luck with that, Dan.
Purdue's it's gonna be a long road back for Purdue.
Yeah, I mean, you're set with basketball. Just keep letting Matt Painter do what Matt Painter does.
I think so, but if you listen to your boy Myron Metcalf, their ceiling is not very high. Nobody ever thinks very highly of Purdue basketball, but they always win.
Well, I mean, they were predicted to be like the national champion last year.
And then that's coming off of the year where they went to the national championship game.
Sure.
2 years, a
2
year
years
before
ago.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, no. So there was expectation for Purdue, and then they kind of came under it, and then they were really good.
But
at the
as
end
a
of the year.
program, no one looks at Purdue and says, this is the gold standard. They always look at Michigan State or Michigan or whatever it is in the Big Ten. Purdue is like one of those punch-up programs that everybody looks at, but apparently nobody,
I
nobody
think-
respects them still.
their lack of NCAA tournament success is probably still holding them back to
Fair.
a degree. Because I think in the regular season, everybody knows that's one of the best teams in the Big Ten, no matter what.
I would hope so.
But then as soon as you get to postseason play, it's Central Arkansas or Arkansas Little Rock or
Fairleigh Dickinson.
whichever ones. I mean, they had that team, what was it, Carson Edwards, where, I think they lost to Texas Tech on a last-second jumper.
That was in the Elite Eight, right?
Yeah, I think that's right. There was a wedding I was at that night, and everybody was huddled around a guy with a phone
What a great
watching
game.
the end of the game.
Carson Edwards was going ham.
He had a monster tournament.
So last year
Is he
they
an NBA guy, Joey?
he was a Celtic for
Yeah.
like a brief period of time.
I did not want to mention because I know
wandered into that.
I was not going to mention it. So thank you, Connor, for being the one that mentioned it.
But you were pretty fired up about Carson Edwards.
I was thinking about it, but I'm like, nah, he was pretty much nothing in the NBA
Okay.
for the Celtics.
But like at the very beginning, you were like, "Ooh, watch out! We might have
Maybe-
some. We might have our
maybe-
new Derrick Rose."
maybe no, no. Oh no.
Last year they went to the Elite Eight. 2 years ago they went to the Sweet 16. They went to the national championship game
3
the
years
year
ago.
before that,
Yeah.
and then the year before that, of course, they lost in the first round as a
Right.
1 seed. But there is some tournament success in there.
There is definitely tournament success.
Just unfortunately for Tommy, Mr. Tom, not a ton of national championships.
no, not really. and not other programs. Like, you're not going to go win a bunch in Purdue baseball.
No.
Is there like their volleyball team's always okay?
Yeah, their volleyball team's solid. Not bad.
Their women's
Their
basketball
baseball team's been pretty solid. They've had some guys.
Yeah. They just missed out on the tournament, I think, this year.
Mhm.
Women's
that tarp off
basketball,
the
I don't
field.
know. Track and field, I don't know.
Women's basketball was really good. They have struggled in
Okay.
more recent years, I believe. They've had some players.
That Mackey is Fred Hoiberg's favorite arena to play at.
That's what
in the Big
everybody
Ten.
always says about Mackey.
Says it's the best arena in the conference. There's not a close second.
That's high praise.
So
Never been.
I mean, that's considering, people would expect you to say wherever they play for Michigan State. For
Breslin.
that. Otherwise, I don't know that the Big Ten's loaded with these like great basketball environments.
No.
State Farm could be okay. It just looks so orange on television.
Yeah.
The Minnesota one's awful.
The barn.
I
Not a
have
big
not
barn
been
guy?
to Hawkeye Carver, but
I don't
it
think
doesn't
there's
seem like it's
anything.
anything special.
Nope.
Pinnacle Bank is nice, but it's not like it's this super unique venue.
Right.
It's basically, I guess you go out to the West Coast, wherever they play
Volley.
for UCLA is historic. Assembly's historic.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was big on Mackey.
Good luck, Tommy. Good luck with that, Tommy. All right, we'll take a quick break. Our City of the Day is coming up next on 1620 The Zone. We learned this city. We learned this city on Happen. Schaefer learned this city. We learned this city on Happen. Schaefer. All right, it's time to learn this city. We go to Akron, Ohio today. Why are we going to Akron, Ohio?
Because you can call plays for the Akron Zips in their home opener
You could.
against Robert Morris.
For apparently, and apparently they've done pretty well. The gimmick has gone exactly how they thought it would, maybe even better. I guess they sold out of one of the levels of seats for season tickets, which
Unbelievable.
I don't think they care about how many people go to their games.
They're just trying to make money.
They're just trying to make any sort of money any way they can, and they'll get people to go if they're interesting.
Sure.
Nice job. Well done by them. So you could call the plays in the first drive of the first home game for Akron if you buy season tickets, but you would I don't know if you would have to be in Akron, Ohio during this time. Maybe at some point you'd have to be in Akron, Ohio. So let's tell you a little bit about Akron, Ohio. Akron, Ohio is a population of, any guesses? Or did you see it already?
I mean, I have it. Joey, do you want to take a guess?
It's probably, I would say probably about 250,000.
Pretty close. I mean, not bad. 190,000-ish
Okay.
in Akron, Ohio. There's a lot of rubber references in this town. I have some fun facts. It's in Summit County, Ohio. We'll get to the interstates in a little bit. Along the Little Cuyahoga River, approximately 40 miles south of Cleveland. Cleveland, of course, Akron, LeBron James, all those different. So I went to LeBron James. So I'm going to get you started this way. LeBron James was born December 30th, 1984, at one of the hospitals in town, Summa Health Akron campus. Another famous person was born at this very hospital.
Oh,
Yeah. Another person in remarkably close, proximity to LeBron James was born at this very hospital 4 years later. And that person is Steph Curry.
Oh,
No
yeah.
kidding.
Oh, yeah. I remember.
LeBron
this.
James and Steph Curry were born at the same hospital 4 years apart.
whoa.
Which shocked me.
I
I
remember.
don't know why,
remember
but this
I-
just fascinating.
I've definitely heard that as like a fun fact somewhere
No
along the way.
hospital has ever had more.
Points.
Wow.
It's
just incredible.
definitely the highest scoring hospital out of any babies ever
When it
born.
comes out, it was like the same doctor delivered both babies.
I don't know if that's the case or not.
That has to be Dr. Basketball.
I didn't know that Steph Curry is born in Akron.
I didn't either.
That's kind of crazy. And then there's like a famous.
I was just thinking the Carolinas with Steph Curry.
Yeah, right. I would have figured that he was, maybe Dell was playing for Cleveland at the time. I don't know what was going on, but yes, LeBron James and Steph Curry were born at the same hospital in Akron, Ohio. Did you know that the Pickles family from the Nickelodeon show Rugrats was originally from Akron? I didn't know that they did backstories on the Pickles
I had
family.
no idea. Where's Chucky Finster from?
I don't know. He's not in the Pickles family.
Wow.
He's not in the
He
Pickles
is in Rugrats.
Yeah.
In whatever fictional town they're in.
The Zips from Akron University, the Zips refers to zippers, which is a rubber shoe that originated at Akron's B.F. Goodrich Company. The name was thought up by University of Akron freshman Margaret Hamlin during a campus-wide contest in 1925. Now, Akron's mascot, however, Zippy, is a kangaroo. Why? I don't know.
I've always wondered this. I'm actually getting information on it for the first time in my life.
Here's another thing about Zippy. Zippy is a female. Did you know that Zippy
No.
is a girl? Zippy is a female, making her one of just 8 female mascots in America.
So that's a fascinating factoid in itself that I didn't know either.
You're welcome.
I guess I never really wondered whether it's Zippy was a he or a she.
I don't think anyone ever has.
I guess is there a Joey? Is there like a kid
I would
kangaroo?
imagine they sort of expand the Zippy
Yeah.
family at some point.
They
but
just have me.
they have Mr. Met, they have Mrs.
Sure.
Met.
Yep.
Expanded. So I don't know what they've done with that, but the primary mascot is Zippy, and she is a girl.
Wow.
So
Okay.
nice job by Akron University. What do
Look
you
at
got?
that.
You got anything?
Nothing that you haven't really already covered. I mean, the biggest thing about Akron is it was a massive center for tires, effectively. Rubber. I mean, the global tire and rubber industry at one point in time, the big four were all there with Goodyear, Firestone, BF Goodrich, General Tire. The Akron Rubber Ducks is the
That's right.
AA team. Everything is built around rubber, basically. And given the auto boom of the early 20th century,
Yes.
Akron was a massive manufacturing hub. And then once that slowed down, obviously the Rust Belt.
Yeah, one of those kind of
comes
Rust
into-
Belt cities that just kind of faded off a little
So
bit.
it
Not
was
unsimilar to what we were talking about. What was the
Right.
city in Pennsylvania we did a couple weeks ago?
We did Allenstown.
Oh, yeah.
Allentown, yeah. Similar sort of idea.
Allentown. So that's this is kind of fun though.
Okay.
The All-American Soapbox Derby, one of the country's most famous youth racing events,
They did
has
a-
been held in Akron since the 1930s.
They did a Disney movie about that.
You know, I had this. Was that like a Frankie Muniz?
All right, hang on. What was this?
I had this movie in my head about kids that build like a soapbox derby car and have a big race, and
Yep.
I couldn't think of what the movie was.
Miracle in Lane 2.
Okay.
It does star Frankie Muniz.
Where did that come from?
Where did what come from?
Like how I haven't.
Why did they
thought
do a
about-
soapbox derby movie?
Oh, I haven't thought about a soapbox derby until I saw this, and then I was like thinking about the movie, and then you verbalized it. Like it was in the back of my brain. It wasn't like at the front of it, and then
Yeah.
immediately Frankie Muniz comes to mind. I don't remember even watching this, but I have all of this information.
I
in my
remember
head.
there being a soapbox derby movie
Yeah.
so it was released May 13th, 2000.
Which should have been the Malcolm in the Middle fame. So I'm
Is-
sure I would have watched because of that.
Yeah, it was I can't remember what the drama was or anything like that in that movie, but yes,
Okay.
during a race, Justin crashes and is hospitalized due to spinal fluid buildup. He is permitted to race in the All-American Soapbox Derby after winning. The competitor of the penultimate race drops out on their way to the Derby. I'm sorry, I'm spoiling it. Wow, there's a lot of drama that is happening in this movie. There's a lot of different things going on, but probably one of Frankie Muniz's best parts. Well done.
Okay.
Nice job. That and Malcolm in the Middle go hand in hand. Probably didn't know that. All-American Soapbox Derby.
So that's probably the most other notable thing in here. Otherwise, a lot of Goodyear stuff, a lot of LeBron stuff. We were mentioning, I think we mentioned this on air, but LeBron still has his house, and there's an interactive museum that celebrates
Which-
LeBron and Akron.
Honestly, I thought they would do like more when I looked up LeBron James' birthplace. That's why I got to where I got to
Right.
with the hospital. But I figured they would have had like a house or something like that they would have preserved. Maybe they will over, I don't know. I don't know what that's eventually gonna be like. But like LeBron James' childhood house, that'd be awesome. I would absolutely love it. If I was in Akron, I'm not like making a special trip to Akron, but like
I
if
went
I
to
was,
Teddy Roosevelt's childhood house in New York City. It
Yeah.
was great.
yeah,
It's a national park.
if I was ever around, I would definitely go check it out.
Yeah. Oh, same.
I would go on a LeBron James.
I mean, as someone who's been to
tour.
Cleveland a handful of times, I've never actually been to Akron. Like 40-minute drive. I should probably do that at some point.
Yeah, I would.
I wanted to go to all of Cleveland's minor league baseball places.
I don't think that Joey would go on a LeBron James inspired tour.
Probably not.
Well, when I had to go up to Cleveland, we kind of drove past his mansion because it's like right off the interstate. And speaking of interstates, that's
Yeah,
interstate,
give it to me.
Interstate 77, 76. And
We
then
did this yesterday.
yeah, we did that. And then I found a reason why Steph Curry was born in Akron. So
Oh.
Del Curry played one season for the Cavs, and that was his second season.
There you
That
go.
happened to be 87, 88. And Curry was born,
In '88.
March of 88.
Yeah,
near
but
the end of that
there's
season.
hospitals all over Cleveland.
Maybe they thought that the Akron hospital was the best.
Yeah, I mean, I
Maybe
don't
they
really
lived
think
in
of Akron
Akron.
as like a suburb of Cleveland, though. Like
I mean,
but
it's
maybe
if it really is 40 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, that's not that far.
Yeah.
It's effectively, Gretna to
Effectively to
downtown
our
Omaha.
house. Now that our roads are dirt.
All of them. Oh, I was so mad when I was texting you
They
yesterday.
have turned our
I
roads.
had so much like triggering to taking me back to the last few months of Lincoln. Where they
Progress.
started every single street construction on the same day in the summer.
Yeah.
And so they shut down like 25 stretches of various streets.
Yep.
And it was just a maze getting around.
That pain means that there will be progress
I hope so.
at some point.
A
Joey,
lot of loose gravel signs, I'll tell you that much.
anything special from that caller just there? I'm interested.
So there's a soapbox derby in Sioux City right off the interstate over in Lamar.
Oh, wow.
Ah. Lamar,
I
Iowa.
Shout out
is
to
there
caller Jeff.
I assume there's sort of like a soapbox derby circuit or something like that. Like, I don't know. Awesome. That's pretty cool. Matt writes in on YouTube. He says, are they preserving his house like he's a president? I think they should. I think they should make more out of LeBron James. Maybe if he would have come back to Cleveland in free agency this time to play his 50-year-old season there, they would have done
Probably
that.
be
But
occupied.
he
by
did.
that.
wanted it.
He did not do that.
Now he gets to play with Jaylen Brown. Also, the rest of the 76ers.
Another YouTube comment was the soapbox racing movie the inspiration for Frankie to become a professional sports car driver? I don't know.
Oh, that's a great question.
He did become a NASCAR driver.
He's kind of an interesting guy.
Just kind of, yeah. Maybe there'll be a movie done on it. He was not born at that Akron hospital, though, unfortunately. That would have been really, really, really cool.
Quite.
All right, that's our city of the day. We'll come back 7 o'clock hour. Plenty to come on Happer and Schaefer on 1620 The Zone. Good luck with that, Dan. All right, welcome back. 7 o'clock hour. Happer and Schaefer rolls on here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Somebody wrote in before on YouTube, bada bing. If 1620 The Zone would have a mascot, what would it be? Man, what a question.
Oh,
What a question.
man.
You could really make the case for just about anything.
I mean, is it just like a big microphone that has arms and legs and can move around?
That's kind of funny.
That seems like that's the
Basically like a
the
clip-
cartoonish,
Like a clip art microphone.
Yes. Well,
that came to life.
this isn't about what the quality of what it would look like, which clip art is a great place to start and probably finish for that. But or it could be AI designed, as we know that's a thing that happens for some people.
No, come on. Let's just do clip art. Maybe we can just make it Clippy himself.
Okay. So that's a possibility. What else could it be when you think of 1620 The Zone?
I mean, what's the physical representation of a take? I don't know.
That's where the microphone works. I mean, you could do like a radio tower, but that doesn't. Nobody cares.
Towery the tower.
Towery the tower. Yeah.
Which
A
I mean,
zone-
that could be
zone-
funny. You could make a good bit out of that. Like you make it really, really short, and it doesn't go very far, and people would be like, "Oh, that's the 1620 The Zone tower."
Yeah, it doesn't project quite as much as it needs to. That I like that. Now we're thinking. Okay, so
it's got like googly eyes.
how do you turn zone 1620 The Zone? How do you turn zone into something? Like what is a zone?
You like a play on zone?
Yeah. Just a giant square, like a giant red square.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking like a portal, like of some sort. But no, I think you're onto something with either the microphone or a tower of some sort. Maybe a big wide window.
I mean, when all else fails, you just pick a random animal and then claim that there's some sort of like
connection.
Yeah, and I don't know, skunks because they're around the building. We have cats that are
I get dumped in
not so generously left here.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any other animal? We have dogs that run throughout the office.
Yeah. One time I saw a deer crossing Dodge Street, and it amazingly did not get hit. I don't know how a deer gets to the middle of Dodge Street.
I don't either.
It did.
Someone was telling me a story about their coworker hit a deer off of the Dodge Expressway at like 9 a.m. The deer just ran out from where like Boys Town is at, and then they hit it and completely totaled their
it's
car.
kind of like a wooded area over there.
Yeah, it's still just like I was
that
like,
would be crazy if you hit him on the elevated
I don't want to be
expressway.
thinking about deer driving in at 5:35 in the morning.
You always have to be thinking about deer.
I know, especially where we're at. Like they're,
especially when it's foggy.
That 168th stretch, like there's gonna be deer.
I bet Joey is always thinking about deer when he's driving.
Not really where I'm at. I'm
You
not.
never know.
I'm not. I mean,
He's happy to not be
you never
thinking
know.
about the Bucks and Giannis anymore. I'll tell you that.
Matthew
Feels a lot better about that.
Sure, do not have to think about that.
Matthew writes
Thank
in,
you for the reminder.
just dove into the stream. Solid beard trim, Schaefer.
Thank you.
I always get a bit conscientious after a beard trim.
Oh, speaking of mascot,
like
maybe
self-conscious.
maybe a lumberjack could be a mascot because we got so many bearded people.
Get some bearded guys, but it's just me and you, really.
Yeah, it's well,
Maybe we can make it a hippie for Josh.
yeah. And then Matt
Is he going to keep growing out his hair?
I think he is.
All right.
I think he said that he wasn't going to get a haircut the rest of the year.
Whoa.
Wow.
And then what?
I don't know.
And then do it another year?
I don't know what the end game is with it.
Nice.
Just like I don't understand what the end game is with Matt calling his beard a mustache.
Oh yeah, that's another
And
thing.
it's like I don't really know how to have that conversation with him for the third time.
Just let him go. I guess. That's
well, no,
the,
I mean
it's the only thing we can
he
do.
obviously is going to do what he's going to do,
Stand by and support our friends.
but just stop calling it a mustache.
I don't know what journeys you're going through, but you know, good luck.
I want him to value words more, I guess is where I'm at with it.
He
Whether
does
we're
take,
talking about
he
the-
does take some liberties.
Some. He's like, oh, it has a slight relation to the overall meaning. I'm going to claim that it's this.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So the 1620, the mascot is maybe we can decide it at our 1620 the zone golf tournament, which is coming up in just a couple weeks. We can all decide together. You could vote on something. We'll put together some
seems like a great contest.
It does. Yeah. So if anybody has any ideas,
mascot.
just let us know. Let's go to Nebraska football practice from yesterday. We'd like to thank the Huskers Radio Network and Kyle Crooks for dropping by practice, grabbing a video, an interview, hanging out with Dana Holgerson, chatting it up for a couple minutes. There was some good stuff in that conversation. I'd like to play this video where Dana Holgerson, our dear friend responsible for this drop.
No, I haven't seen that.
Which we love. Anthony. Okay. Oh. A little slow, but okay.
Mobile guy
We just
that
went
could,
off.
kind of run around and get out of trouble. You just watch his UNLV video, and he was the Mountain West Player of the Year for a reason. And there was a lot of runaround stuff, right? So I didn't know about the processing because I'd never coached him or met him. I didn't know about the arm talent because I hadn't seen him throw in live. He's checking all those boxes right now, so we're very excited about where he's at. It's my job to keep him upright and keep him. My job and the other 10 guys' job to keep him upright and keep him healthy throughout the year.
Dana, appreciate.
All right, so there's only, the things that stand out about Anthony Colandrea, obviously with the statistics, sorry about the technical difficulties there, with the statistics and then with what you see on tape is what Dana said, the ability to run around and make plays and do all these different things. But what you don't, there's some things that you just can't know until you're around him every single day. And Dana pointed out the processing and the arm talent, which, I mean, the processing one is the one that I really want to hone in on, because if he can make decisions at a, quickly and at the rate that he needs to make him, and he has this athletic ability to go out and make plays like that, I don't know, you might be cooking with something.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt. Like, if you can get the version of him that is able to extend plays and keep his eyes downfield, then you have a chance for more explosive playmaking that way. You get the version of him that can run around, and we saw this. Like, when Adrian was at his best, it wasn't always designed run plays. It was just on the improvised, get out, scramble, that run before the end of the half against Illinois that, seemingly gave you the opportunity to, maybe it was in the second half against Illinois, I can't remember now, but gives you an opportunity to score on a play that you're not expecting to, because he just has that level of explosion. It's how you put everything else together around it. It's also, I was thinking about this when he was talking. We had that conversation probably 2 days ago or so about, like, hey, at what point do they just sort of declare Anthony Colandrea the starter? Like, you have an interview like this, there's just no question ever that it was anybody else. I find myself really interested in what they choose to do with him, because what it means for everybody else in the offense. Like, because they talk about the power running thing, but then it also seems like you're at your best when the ball is in his hands. So how are you going to square all of that up?
Well, I mean, you could do all those things, right? There's a lot of plays,
but it's ultimately like, what are they going to be best at? And then how do you utilize him at his best? And so if it's always off script plays as his best, then you're not really going to have a whole lot of power running game with it. Like, it can complement it potentially, but it's just sort of there's so many unknowns, and then there's pieces that you feel like about with the offense. Like, it's just such a unique setup for the upcoming season.
No doubt. I mean, it really is. But I think we've agreed over the last couple of weeks in our conversations about Colandrea that he's going to be the engine of this thing. He's going to be the center.
Oh, no question.
He's the center of it.
He has to be.
And so the better he is,
he's your upside. Right?
Obviously, there's the position that you put him in as an offensive coordinator and with the players around him, like, yes, all those stuff. But I feel like there's a fair amount of concern from the fan base about Colandrea himself. Like, when people look at the offense, there's, without diving into it, they're not thinking about all the pieces around them, and they're not thinking about what the decision making, what the direction is. They're looking at, like, oh, this guy transferred in from UNLV and I'm not sure about him. I don't think that's going to be the issue.
Yeah.
While you can't be sure about him because we haven't seen him, and sure as hell, they weren't sure about him. But Dana said we didn't really know. I mean, and they had to pivot very, very quickly after they lost Kenny Minchie. And we talked about that the other day, how they kind of just landed on this. This was, make no mistake about it, this was not purposeful. They didn't want a guy like Colandrea. They didn't want to do this with their offense. But it's not like they don't want to now. You have to put that guy in the best position to be able to. Well,
the idea
to
that
succeed.
we always harp on, right, is that you have to build around what is your style of your players.
Yeah,
you don't make them fit what you're doing. You fit what they do well. And so, one, they have to kind of identify what he's going to be able to do well for them. And you only know what you have in practice, and then that could really change by the time you see what other teams are attempting to do.
What I saw in the spring game was a guy, there's only so much you could see because they weren't tackling. And what I saw at UNLV and whatever, I certainly wasn't sure about the arm strength. So Matthew writes in, how do you not know about the processing and arm talent if you're recruiting him as a transfer? The processing part, you don't know what they're asking him to do.
Sure.
That's how you grade processing, right? Like if you're telling him, here's the play you run and here are the reads and here are the progressions that you have to go through. You don't know that if you're just watching it on film. Now you could call in and vet it and whatever it is, but Nebraska had a very, 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 very short period of time to be able to accomplish all these things and get him, figure out if he was going to be a guy who is capable of playing at this level. Which I think, and I don't know that everybody thinks this once again, but I think he very clearly is. There is a lot. I heard him talking about this on Sports-Like Conduct yesterday afternoon about these guys that have taken the jump from Group of Five to Power Five. And there's some recent really positive history about those guys not only keeping up the production that they had at their previous stop, but increasing it.
Because they have better talent.
Because they have better talent around them. And some of the interception stuff going down, and because they're not being asked to do as much. So that's where the other stuff comes in for Nebraska. Like what do they have around them? But I'd like to just reiterate the point. Maybe this is just Colandrea week for me. Like, I'm in on this guy. I think this is I think they're gonna I think they have a quarterback. And we'll see how they're able to put the pieces, I think, around him. To your point, Schaefer.
It's one of those things too, where he's saying that he doesn't literally mean they have absolutely no idea. He means that he hasn't seen it in person. That's the takeaway.
You just don't know until you see a guy.
You can think he can process something, but you kind of need to put him in a situation where you know what the outcome is and you know where you want him to get to, and then you have to see how he gets there. You can see on film that he can put a ball somewhere, but you don't know how it looks like. You don't know the way that his body's contorted to do it exactly. There's an element of this where Holgerson's being very literal. He doesn't know from the I haven't seen it in person standpoint prior to when he arrived. Obviously, he got all spring to be able to do that. One of the things with transfer portal recruiting is that there isn't the evaluation period.
Yeah.
When it comes to Trey Taylor, Glenn Thomas and Dana Holgerson and Matt Rule all could physically go watch him. Maybe not Rule, because coaches don't go on the road in the spring, but you can physically go watch him throw in person, or he'd come to your camp or whatever it is. You didn't have that with Colandrea. You're going off of film. You're going off of what you've heard from people.
And you have a multiple year relationship before. I mean, obviously you want him committed before that, but before he gets on campus, you know exactly what he's all about.
Right.
Because you've been around him for 3 years.
That's why portal is like speed dating, because you don't get all the information when you have to make the decision. You just have to make the decision and then live with whatever the information that you didn't learn.
And so either if you're looking for a quarterback in the portal, which Nebraska was this offseason, either you're going in from the perspective of we need to find someone who fits our exact qualities and specifications because we have a very specific offense that we do. Not Nebraska. They don't have that.
Right.
Or we want to go out and we want to get, the one of the best players available to us. I mean, I don't want to make it quite as simple as that, but that's kind of what it was.
I mean, they were definitely looking for the best available quarterback that they could get
after Minchie.
Right.
They clearly
They had
wanted
identified
Minchie.
Minchie.
They identified
Yeah.
Minchie. And then after Minchie, they were like, all right, reset the deck. We're going for the best guy that we could get.
And it was Colandrea, Bo Pribula, and what was the other name Sam said? Aiden Childs. Those were the three.
Yep.
And in all cases, you have a guy that can move a little bit. You have a guy that has some checkered history. And so it wasn't ever going to be the smoothest, easiest, most obvious thing. You have to pick out of that. They all throw it differently. They all look different when they're playing quarterback. So yeah, I like, again, I think it's just a very literal way of what Holgerson's saying. Not that they don't have an idea of what he is as a player, but he had never seen, like, he's going to call things differently based on watching him throw in person than just what he saw on his, film projector.
I mean, he got up there. We talked about his, his answering questions the other day and how many he ripped off. Bang! It was sort of fast. It wasn't like him and Hahn or anything
Right.
like that. Doesn't mean anything on the football field, but it's sort of interesting when we're starting to build an image, I guess. Yeah. Like I think of, and I continue to sort of like what I hear. I guess about Colandrea in particular.
It's interesting. I was talking with Mitch Sherman for something else this week, and
your podcast,
my podcast,
which is a good podcast.
Thank you. You don't have to say that, but thank you. It's interesting. You think about the dynamic of this, like, again, with some of these other quarterbacks you have, like, we know Trey Taylor's story. We went through years of hearing him either tell it or other people tell it and read it and watch it or whatever else. We don't really know that much about Anthony Colandrea relative to what you would guys that are recruited, because there haven't been the opportunities for someone to just sit down and talk to him and really sort of showcase what his personality is. 2, he has like very catered media appearances, which have been, are short in length and largely built on the same premise of, you're new. What have you learned? Do you know your teammates' names yet? Like, nothing that's sort of touched to like who these people are. So it creates this kind of interesting scenario where we know less about the guy that's being the starting quarterback than we do about the guy who's the recruit, who's not even on the team yet. Like, it's just we haven't been in that situation much.
Yep.
Like, Casey Thompson comes to mind. He's the closest comparison to any of this. And even then, he's a guy that you knew a lot more about because
maybe that's the adjustment for people.
He's also just a really public guy. Whereas I think Colandrea,
there's two things, I guess. Yeah. It's the adjustment for people to not, like, this is new. They're going to get quarterbacks probably every 2 years now.
Right.
And
you're not going to spend a ton of time with them.
You're not going to know them. Like, you're kind of just not going
to
know
their personality. Like, Casey was very, like, you could get to know Casey because he would tell you everything.
And you probably won't have very much time to come to like them or dislike them before they hit the field.
And it'll entirely be based on whether they win or not.
And you are probably, so the second thing is this, you are probably preset to dislike the new quarterback because of the experiences that we have had in recent years with quarterbacks that they have brought in.
Interesting. I feel like
that's a poll question for people, like straw poll.
I go the other way.
Are you predisposed to dislike transfer quarterbacks?
I think you'd be predisposed to like transfer quarterbacks because they haven't hurt you yet.
But think about how it's worked.
Oh, it's gone poorly.
Thank you.
Yeah. But what other, the alternative is you go
but if you do it enough, then like that's always the thing. Where are we at right now with the football team and people's predictions on it? They always say, I don't want to get hurt again. I'm not buying into the crap this year. I'm not buying into the hype.
But if that was true, there wouldn't be enthusiasm for every new coach because your last handful of new coaches have not gone how you've wanted.
That's true. I guess you've had less new coaches than bad football seasons.
Well, but you've had more new coaches than you've had transfer quarterbacks.
Is that true?
Kind of. You have Jeff Sims, you have Casey Thompson, and then you have to go to Tanner Lee.
Yeah.
I guess you had Mike Riley, Scott Frost, and Matt Rule.
That is true. We were predisposed to like Frost, though.
So I'm just, there's reasons for that one. But I'm just saying, like, with a new quarterback, you can always talk yourself into, like, the potential of something being different than what you've seen before. because he doesn't have the stench on him of everything else.
Yeah.
Whereas right now, TJ Lateef has some stench from the way last season went. There's people like, I don't need to see that guy again. They got blown out in his 3 games.
I don't know.
You don't think there's some TVs that have backed out because of the way things went?
There are some.
Yeah.
There are some. But
now there's some that are just like, we're Teefies.
They're like, "Arr."
Now's our time to shine. When everybody's leaving, we're doubling down.
I'm buying more Teefy stock.
Those people were also really big on Logan Smothers, Chubba Purdy, basically anyone. There's probably a Richie Torres guy.
Oh yeah, the Richie Hive.
Torres Trooper, something like that. Like there's always people.
Yeah.
Every quarterback's always got someone. Jalen Gramstad had like lots of someones. But,
Would you say though that the general vibe with the fan base around Colandrea is that
I think it's intrigue.
Yeah. So not sure with a twinge of positivity.
Yes.
Okay.
Not sure. Okay. So what would this be? There's like terms for this. Neutral leaning positive.
Neutral leaning positive. Okay.
Does that sound fair?
Yeah. Yeah. There's like a 5-point, scale basically where a meter.
A 3 that leans 4, not a 3 that leans 2.
Neutral leaning positive, neutral leaning negative.
Now running backs is negative leaning more negative.
Yeah.
Right?
I think so.
And Matt Rule might be neutral leaning negative.
Neutral is
we need to play this as a game.
Just with position groups,
players, anything.
Storylines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just call it leans. We're doing a segment called leans.
Leans.
It's basically all it is. I mean, there's going to be stuff where it's just overwhelmingly positive.
And
Keith Wade right now is overwhelmingly positive.
Yep. I don't know. Why do I feel like the people are neutral leaning negative on,
I don't know.
on Colandrea?
I would like you to drill in on that.
I'm trying to. I
are
guess
there people that are going to back this up? I could be wildly wrong. I've been wrong
maybe
before.
it's just dead neutral. Maybe it's just dead neutral. Like I am in a straight up wait and see mode. I'm not doing anything as it pertains to this guy.
Man, I just think there's more people where it's like, I kind of like it. I kind of like that he runs. A lot of it is he's athletic. So people have kind of bought into that there's more of a chance to move the pocket.
So back to
run game.
Back to what we said before. Are you more positive about the offense or Colandrea?
Oh man, now that is a question. Why are we getting these really good questions on a Friday?
Should we dig into it after a break?
Off on this? Yeah, let's take our break here.
So let us know what you think about that, because I'm going to ask Schaefer again, and he's going to have to answer. 402-951.
I'm going to try to filibuster.
1620 on the Brave Flyer Casino Zone hotline. We would like to hear from you all. Also at Happen Shave on the Liquid Trucking Zone Twitter feed. Which are you more positive about, the offense or Colandrea? Next on 1620 The Zone. Today, if you're watching on any of the ESPN channels, you will be finding Little League Baseball. It's not the Little League World Series yet. They started putting, several years ago, they started putting the regionals on TV. And so there's regional stuff starting today. And then the Little League World Series begins August 19th. That's how you know it's almost football season.
Who's repping out of Nebraska?
That's a great question.
How do we find out that information?
Little League. I know that shout out to the Rugs from Lincoln East. They won their first game at the regional tournament for the Legion Ball.
Carpetland?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they won yesterday. So I feel like that team, or there's been a team from Nebraska who was represented in the American Legion World Series, like probably, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 times over the last decade or so.
I say this all the time. Baseball is under discussed as a sport that Nebraskans play well at a high level.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of baseball players that leave from here to go play throughout colleges. We see it all the time. And there's better baseball talent than you might guess in Nebraska.
Shout out to baseball and children. By the way, our boys in the Little League World Series preamble are from Kearney this year.
Again, Kearney, I feel like, is continually repping with the Little League World Series.
That regional is in Indianapolis, basically, beginning tomorrow. They got to beat the boys from Davenport, Iowa, Pittsburgh, Kansas, Coon Rapids, Minnesota, Columbia, Missouri, Fargo, North Dakota, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and Whitefish Bay, Wisconsin.
Okay.
I think Kearney's got a lot on all of those towns, especially Davenport, Iowa. I'll tell you that much. All right, so we asked you before, and I've already got some interesting responses. Which are you more positive about? Colandrea or the offense? Schaefer still doesn't know. Let's see if we can buy him some more time.
You don't have to buy me more time, but other people have answers. I do not yet.
So the Prairie Flyer Casino Zone hotline we go. Here's Brian. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning. Okay, so who's what? Say that again. What are you more optimistic about, the offense or Colandrea? Is that what the question was?
That was the question, but what did you call in about? If that wasn't what you were calling in about?
Oh, I was just calling in about the offense. I don't know. I was listening to Holgerson yesterday, and is it just me, or did his body language just seem off or something? I don't know. He just seemed.
Could you explain this a little bit more? I didn't notice it.
Maybe he was when he was talking about the tight ends. Maybe that's what kind of.
He did say that he was like disappointed in the tight ends over the summer. Yeah.
I don't know. That's just kind of that's what second day of fall camp, and we're already. I don't know. Something like that's already coming out. I'm already optimistic, let alone I hear that, and I'm like, gee.
So you're optimistic, but that one threw you off?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm pessimistic already. I'm not.
That's what we figured.
Yeah, we just wanted to make sure you clarified it.
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
It's too dang early, guys. I can't. I'm trying to think through what I want to say, but I'm not already having a good feeling, let alone the offensive coordinator's coming out the second day saying something like that. I don't know. That just kind of puts me on alert.
Okay. All right.
That's me.
Brian, we'll try and go.
What have you guys? One more thing. What have you guys been? I talk to fans, but you guys got a better pulse on it than I do. What are you seeing difference between this year and prior years? Are people that out or not? You know what I mean? Not as enthused. 'Cause I'm not as enthused, but I just kind of want to know what your general vibe was about what you see.
Okay. Thanks for the call, Brian. Appreciate it. We'll try and
Yeah,
we'll try and get him pegged down
at the end there. I mean, I would say that there's.
That was a great call, by the way.
Yeah, I don't want to use the word enthusiasm either. Everything feels measured and tempered.
Yeah. Yeah, there's just if there was ever a sharp,
I want football season to be here.
There has always been this kind of like sharpness about the offseason, and people are really ready to go. And now, like, the tip of that spear is just dull.
Probably a good way.
It's just a little bit more
the
dull.
rounded edge.
Yeah, it's soft, but it's still there. Like the spear of the offseason still exists. I don't know why I said it that way, but
Well, and then you kind of made this motion like the offseason is actually a javelin. But then the javelin is dulled out. And so it's not like sticking when it hits the ground. So it's just hitting and
yeah,
making
it's
like,
just clunk, clunk,
a
clunk.
boing noise.
Yeah,
and
it kind of bounces
and
around
popping
a little
off.
bit. Yeah, that's basically what it is.
Okay.
It is more tamped as far as fan enthusiasm. Yes, Brian, it is more tamped down than it has been in previous years.
I think that's accurate.
So on Dana did mention, by the way, in that interview, part of which we played from Kyle Crooks earlier in the show, that he was like, yeah, I was a little disappointed in the tight ends needed to step it up in June and July. But I believe at the end of that, he said, well, they kind of have.
I think he said that he thought that they didn't have a particularly strong summer, but
Yeah.
that they came out and they practiced well the first couple of days.
Right.
So in a roundabout way, he's happy where things are because he thought it was going to be worse based on what they did over the summer.
Right.
Which is sort of odd all the way around because your
I
tight ends are
appreciate
like,
I think you get the best stuff from Dana because Dana's like, I don't really care. I'm going to tell it how it is.
I also think though it tends to be like it starts somewhere and then ends somewhere else. And what actually
He takes you on a trip.
there's like a bit of a Mike Leach thing to it where it's like, well, wait a minute. Did he actually answer anything here? Or did he just say words?
Yeah.
And sometimes you get that.
But you usually do get what he thinks about stuff.
You'll get his thoughts. And
Right.
whether you can correctly apply something to them entirely
Right.
choose your own adventure.
So the first two responses to my question of which are you more positive about, the offense or Colandrea? I'm going to read the first one. Here's Wes. I'm more positive about the offense. Colandrea's turnovers have me in the mindset of when Adrian Martinez was our quarterback. Yeah, he could run and make flash plays, but then the very next series make a horrible decision and have a turnover. Which, I mean, like freshman year, Adrian Martinez was way more positive. Like, what was he, 17-9, I think, that year? And
Something
then he had
like that,
another
yeah.
400 or 500 yards rushing. I mean, like,
It's one of those
he's going to
things-
throw picks.
Right. Yeah. He was such a unique situation because I don't think they have the talent around Adrian that they will for Anthony Colandrea.
And for
I
the
think if you
record,
put Adrian Martinez in this group with the offensive pieces around him, he would be a very good player.
yeah. Well, which version of him? Because at a certain point in his career, he was just broken.
Sure. I mean, I think the version of him that went to Kansas State and was a successful player because they had a system to utilize him. It was efficient. He was able to get the ball out. He had wide receivers to throw to. But when you point to his freshman year,
He
I
was
think
never as decisive as he was.
I
his
think there's
freshman year.
that, but I also think like what else did he not have after his freshman year? He didn't have Stanley Morgan.
Yeah.
He didn't have anything remotely
That's
close
true.
to that until he had Samari Toure, which again was in his best year passing. the
He
ball.
just looked at he just wasn't as confident
Sure.
of a player.
paralysis.
Yeah.
There's definitely mental
He
paralysis.
slowed way down
Right.
after his freshman year, which was sad. So maybe this informs this conversation a little bit. Like, I was always a Adrian guy, and the rest of the offense was kind of failing him, whether it be the play caller or them putting too much on him, whatever it might be. Like, that was always my mindset. So maybe that informs a little bit of how I feel about this situation this year. I feel good about Colandrea, and I'm less sure about the offense. So the next text we got on it is this. I'm more positive about Colandrea. I don't care if we win every game. Just go put on a show. Last year's offense was way too boring,
Last year's offense was boring.
which is like sort of the way I approached it at the start of the Colandrea, train here. Like,
variant.
I just want to have some fun. Okay. Stop being worried about all the times that you might throw interceptions. If you go throw interceptions, I'll live with it. Right now, I'm at the point in my life where I am the most accepting of interceptions because at least they're throwing it. At least they're taking chances. Right. So that's kind of the mindset that I'm in right now.
No, I think that's fair. I'm still like trying to think my way through it. I think it's Colandrea over the offense, though I am very intrigued by parts of the offense. Obviously, I'm held back by the Dana piece of it.
Yeah.
Because I don't really believe in him. And that could change. We'll see. And then Colandrea, I mean, again, you're talking about a guy who's a former Mountain West offensive player. Like, we know that there's something there. It's whether Nebraska can put him in position to be successful. And so I think that he has the talent to do it. And I think that there's the combustibility of it is intoxicating. I do agree on that.
Yeah.
And I do welcome the quarterback run game into the whole fold here. I was someone who felt like that piece wasn't going to be as significant if you could get the rest of the passing game going. They never did. And so they, if you're going to be limited in that regard, you have to be better somewhere else. Having the element of the quarterback run game may help with that. It also will open up other avenues in the passing.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
So, all of that put together, probably more enthusiastic about Colandrea individually than the offense as a whole.
Ultimately, what are we talking about here? The same thing. I mean, the offense is helped by
Can
Colandrea.
he be the engine that makes the rest
Colandrea's-
of this thing run?
Right.
Is he the one that holds it back, or does the rest of it fail him?
It's good. If you would have asked me around
Chicken and the egg with Nebraska's offense.
100%. If you would have asked me this question a couple of years ago, I would have said, well, I don't want to get into a situation where Nebraska's only player is their quarterback, because I just think they've been too heavily reliant on the quarterback over the last couple of years to do everything. But now I'm like, I think they need a quarterback who could lift everybody else.
My hope is that you have guys emerge. I would love for a year where the three wide receivers that we spend so much time talking about go out and have good seasons. That, someone like an Isaiah Hunter has an 1,100-yard season, which isn't even that hard to do in college football.
It would be the record at
But
Nebraska.
for Nebraska, it's almost unheard of.
It's literally unheard of.
So like Quasi Gilmer, I couldn't remember how many yards Trey Palmer had. So
it was
1,051 or something.
or something like that. Yeah.
And then can Quasi Gilmer be the guy that you bring in that's actually better at Nebraska than he was, at Kentucky or
cool.
Wyoming or, any of these places, Wake Forest, that you brought in these different wide receivers. I want to see something there because you've invested so much at that position. I just feel like you get such middling results.
1,043 yards.
Okay.
For Trey Palmer in 2022. Only 3 receivers have had 1,000 yards in a single season ever.
Stanley Morgan.
Yep.
Trey Palmer. Samari Toure.
No. Samari Toure did not do it. Johnny Rodgers did it in 1972.
Okay.
Which I didn't know.
I didn't either.
I felt like that because I felt like Stanley
was 997 or something like that.
I always thought Stanley was the first.
I did too. We made a big deal about it.
Did something happen?
That's why I thought it was Toure.
The Wikipedia is
Did we
telling me
retroactively go back and give Johnny Rodgers receiving yards?
we may have. I'm not sure. Either way,
If someone close to Johnny Rodgers that listens to our show somewhat regularly and participated in the auction
and loves stats
knows the answer to this, please let us know.
Yeah, I thought that was the case. Maybe we just read it wrong. Anyway, let's take a timeout. If you guys have thoughts on that, please let us know. 402-951-1620. Also, you can tweet at us on the Liquid Trucking Zone Twitter feed. Speaking of the Liquid Trucking Zone Twitter feed, hit us up at Happen Schaefer for Friday shout-outs coming up in about an hour. We'll be back with Joey's headlines right after this on 1620 The Zone. So I checked the Nebraska football record book. It says this top 10 singles, the top single season receiving yardage seasons in school history. Trey Palmer's 1,043 yards in 2022. And then Stanley Morgan's 1,004 yards in 2018. Those are the only 2,000-yard receiving seasons in school history. Wikipedia, for some reason, is telling me that Johnny Rodgers had 1,013 receiving yards in 1972, which you and I, Schaefer, never thought until I just saw this. Wikipedia, you're wrong. What happened, Wikipedia?
You cannot trust crowdsourced Wikipedia. Who can you trust?
Johnny
we
Rodgers.
Can't trust AI, which we already know.
Absolutely not.
We can't trust crowdsourced Wikipedia. We can trust Sports Reference college football.
And we can trust the Nebraska football record book. Yes.
And Severe was texting me.
Johnny Rodgers' top season receiving yards was 942.
Senior year.
Mike Schaefer thought. All right, Joey, let's hit some headlines quickly.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Well, I was not sure how long you guys were going to talk.
Wow.
There's less time.
Now you're blaming it on
162-year-old
us.
Guinness bottle found in shipwreck that could reveal original recipe.
Wow. Another message in a bottle, huh?
But this is a recipe.
Okay.
Headline number 2: Man driven insane by noise admits killing fish.
That's that one for me. I would be driven insane by a noise, but I want to find out which noise. From BBC, a man who admitted using motor oil and detergent to kill his neighbor's fish after being driven completely insane by the noise of a water pump in the pond has been sentenced. Jerry Duffy, 76 years old, of Hadley Road in North London, pleaded guilty on the day of his trial at Williston Magistrates Court to the 3 counts of damaging property and 1 count of unlawfully destroying fish in March. The court heard Duffy climbed into another man's garden to break the water pump out of sheer frustration and lack of sleep. Having warned his neighbor he would take matters into his own hands. Duffy gets a 2-year conditional discharge and ordered to pay €565 in compensation to his neighbor, which is, I could see you translating the number.
$654.
All right. $650
That's not bad.
Fine. And no, just basically probation.
Yeah, that could have been worse.
He did murder that fish, though.
That could have been worse.
He said he warned the guy, turn your pump off or I'm going to have to murder your fish.
Yeah, and he murdered the fish.
He did.
So how loud is this pump?
It must be pretty loud. As a person who hates noise, I would be incensed if I had to hear something that my neighbor, my apartment neighbor, whatever it was, that they were doing all day long. I would be so mad about that. I would probably move is what I would do. I'd probably not result in killing the fish. I'd probably just move.
There's this used to be your life. This is now my life. There's a dog in the neighborhood that just barks.
Yep.
And
I'm mostly just mad at the humans.
Well, it's always at like 8:20 at night, and it's outside in the front, and the people are in the back, like they're always sitting in the back.
And the humans don't do anything about it.
Like,
that's the worst.
Why
part.
is your dog just barking?
Stop it. Please stop it. All right. Oh, that's our quick headline. Joey, accountability. Just remember that for a little bit later. We'll take a quick timeout. The 8:00 hour is coming up right after this on 1620 The Zone. All right, just a little shy of 8 o'clock here on a Friday. Happer and Schaefer rolls on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer, Mike Schaefer, Joey Warcola with you. By the way, back to our question, Tony or the offense? We got a text from the 402 as people are sort of catching up with the show. Text from the 402 from earlier. Ralphie here. Hey, Ralphie. Tony is what I'm excited for. Prediction of 32 total touchdowns and 15 turnovers. I think I might sign up for that right now. If he fumbled like 4 fumbles and 11 interceptions, I think I might be okay with that.
You're giving me 32 touchdowns.
That's a lot of touchdowns.
Yeah,
Mike Schaefer.
that is. I would
Probably like
sign up.
27 throwing and 5 running.
I
maybe?
think it'd probably be more like 23 and 9 or something like that.
9 running touchdowns and double sign me up.
I think the red zone he's going to score a lot on design plays or just scrambles. Like it's not there, he takes off and beats a guy to the corner. Or maybe if they could run the bootleg.
Whoa.
Run a naked.
What else do you want them to do? Run wheel routes?
Well, they do run wheel routes.
Run screens?
They do run screens.
Run it under center from the 1 yard line?
With their tight end?
I'm so excited for the season to start because we have to hear the same crap that we always hear. Why can't they just run it under center from the 1 yard line? I can't answer the question. I don't know. They don't want to.
Also, why can't they just get 1 yard?
Why can't they just get 1 yard?
I don't care how they line up. Get a yard.
Why can't they execute a simple screenplay, which they actually got pretty good at last year?
Last year was not a screenplay complaint year, unlike the previous 4,000 years.
Yeah. Last year, they actually got good at screens. Last year was
I
weird.
don't know if it was an Emmett thing, if it was a Dylan thing, if it was a TJ Latique thing, because he threw the 2, or he threw at least 1 in the UCLA game. But they ran screens well last year.
They did. Last year was so funny because they went 7-6, and everyone was sort of disappointed at the end. And it ended in this sort of dud, and there needs to be this change in the offseason. But they got good at 3 of the things that everyone always complains about. They got good at running screens. They finally got good at special teams and
penalties.
They had penalties. They got good at
never have penalties on them anymore.
And they had a running back who ran for 1,500 yards.
Yeah,
they ran the ball
1,500 yards from scrimmage, right?
But he had 1,500 yards rushing, didn't he?
Did he have 1,500 yards?
It was 14 something.
Wow. I thought it was 1,500. No, you're right. You're right. I'm just going to go with it.
I think it's 1460.
I mean, he was an All-American.
Yeah, he was good. That guy was good. So they ran the ball, and they did all those things, and they still had a disappointing season.
Well,
it's almost like those complaints are overcooked sometimes.
I think the complaints are always going to be there if the losses are always going to be there. Now, if you cut down on the losses, the complaints might be cut down on too.
That is true. Emma Johnson ran for 1,451 yards last year.
Okay.
1,451 yards. John writes in, will Nebraska score 32 touchdowns total?
Yes.
I had to look back at my drive chart from last year.
That's 224 points.
I don't know. You do.
I mean, if you do
math
like
guy.
it's if you go by 6, no, but if you go by 7, assuming the extra point.
I'd have to go back to my drive chart from last year to see exactly how many touchdowns they scored.
They had to have scored 32.
So this was in. I don't have the bowl game on here, but drives ending in touchdowns 40. That's prior to the bowl game.
Yeah,
and they scored 2 in the bowl game?
2.
42 touchdowns last year. That's right, John.
So
take that. They're gonna score 50
Colandrea
touchdowns.
Gets 32 himself. Can backup quarterbacks and or running backs account for more than 10? I think so.
It's close.
It's hard.
I don't know where they're coming from, but I think they're coming from somewhere.
Latif is going to find Cortez Mills against North Dakota at some point in time.
You think he'll throw another bomb and the Tifis will come out again?
I don't care about the TVs part of it, but that was a pretty pass.
It was. It went way up into the air.
And it came down perfectly into the hands of the man of which he intended to throw it to.
A guy who I drafted or bought in an auction.
You need him to score touchdowns.
In the Husker auction, yes.
So, Yeah, I mean, sign me up for 32 touchdowns from one guy.
Tommy says if Colandrea has 15 turnovers this season, it will be another 6-win season. I don't think you can guarantee that. I think there's going to be a little bit more variance in Nebraska's
We
game
discussed that, as long as you are creating havoc plays defensively, you can more capably survive turnovers. All turnovers aren't equal either. So, I mean,
That's right.
There's an element to that.
Maybe you have to just throw a cheap one before half on a Hail Mary.
It's probably hard for people to rewire their brains that there was a time where Nebraska turned it over a bunch and still won 9 football games.
Like they did that all the time.
So,
like Bo Pelini's teams love doing that.
Which then the hallmark of that was like, hey, stop turning it over and you'll win 11.
We could win the national championship.
And
they never did that.
Never really came to fruition.
They actually did cut down on the turnovers later, and then they couldn't stop the run.
Right. Usually one thing or another will pop up at some point. Because unless you're undefeated, you probably have flaws.
You probably have some problems. Yeah. So let's, by the way, I want to hear from you guys. 402-951-1620 on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. By the way, I have a text from Michael Sevier, who is filling in on Monday, by the way.
Hey!
Nebraska had 100 drives last regular season. 52 of them crossed the opponent's 40-yard line. He said, that's good. But they only scored 207 points. That's 3.8 points per successful drive. They scored at just 2.07 points per drive overall. Iowa, for example, was 2.44. We don't think much of Iowa's offense.
We do not.
Yeah, they did.
Even less without Gronowski.
They were not able to convert their drives into touchdowns.
Yeah, they had a ton of failed stalled drives.
And they still scored 42 touchdowns last year. They're going to score at least 50 touchdowns.
Whoa.
At least 50 touchdowns this year.
At least 50.
50 times you'll be happy in the next 4 months. At least 50 times.
That sentence sounds.
I know, it really does sound crazy. It's like, if you're going to tell me that I'm going to be happy 50 times from September 5th until November, whatever,
you're out of your mind.
There's no chance. I am going to be sad that entire time.
Not a prayer.
50 times. Well, I mean, there could be some
maybe 10 moments of happiness.
There could be
between now and the end of the year.
Some of those touchdowns could be like, we're getting beat 42-7.
Sure.
You're just like, okay, good. But some of those touchdowns are going to be like, rah! You're going to be excited. There's going to be at least 40 times where you're going to be very excited.
That seems so high.
And that doesn't even count all the turnovers they get on defense. They're going to have that will make you happy, I think, as well. They could score field goals that could make you excited. There might be 100 moments of happiness.
What about just well-executed blocks up front? Could that bring people some happiness?
Depends on if it scores a touchdown.
Okay, but what if it springs like a 12-yard run?
That could be a moment of happiness.
Someone might be like, I like this.
I'm saying I'm going to conservatively estimate that there will be 100 moments of happiness.
That is too high.
We should do
way too high. After
the season ends, everybody does their Christmas lists or whatever, like year in review. 100 moments of happiness.
I don't hate it. I like it more as like it cuts in, like audio cuts in, and it's us talking about the specific moment.
Yeah. We just have to.
We're going to end up doing.
We just have to make note of it. Joey, could you write down on the sheet in your big bold letters 100 moments of happiness?
That is so high.
Working on it.
No, there's going to be 100 moments of happiness.
Joey, I'm excited for accountability because I don't know if we'll hear from. I guess Joey will talk to us during free balling, but he seems very busy over there.
Yeah, what are you doing over there?
There's just a lot happening. Not a lot of discussion.
My other responsibilities.
I
let you guys cook.
Thought this was your responsibility, Joey.
Yeah. I thought we had a producer. Instead, he's having to do everything over here.
I could be making graphics. I could be typing
You
up
could be, but you're not. Unfortunately.
Beautiful mystery.
You're probably putting out some kind of fire I didn't even know was happening.
Yeah.
That's true.
But as long as you write 100 moments of happiness, that's enough for now. All right. Saw this story from ESPN yesterday at the end of the show. Ranking college football's greatest supervillains of all time. A great list, with the exception of I don't know that it was a very good list.
Yeah, it's hard because
a great idea for a list,
right.
I should say.
And then it's also so they were going through it on unsportsmanlike conduct, and Nebraska,
Johnny Bish, he Nebraska-ized it.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how I wanted to say that, and you nailed it. Nebraska-ized it, and I agreed with a lot of it. Like it wasn't like I disagreed with the premise or the people or whatever was chosen. But then you think about it and it's like, okay, some of these are very, very hyper specific, and Nebraska something, it should be that way. And then some of it is just like, man, these are all things from 30 years ago. Like yet another example of Nebraska football.
I do think
this like stuck in this, basically set up on this shelf collecting dust.
I do think that is important, though, in the conversation. In order for something to really, really stick in your brain,
it still has to matter to you years later.
Yes,
I agree with that.
It can't be something so recent that you're like, I'm not really sure what this is going to mean to me in 5 years.
Yeah, I was laughing because there was some pushback he had in there.
I'll go to his.
He had in there some stuff on Notre Dame and like how that was like a rivalry, and it was in the 20s, and then Notre Dame just stopped coming to Nebraska because of general anti-Catholic bias against Notre Dame, and there was like pushback from listeners on this. And I was like, kind of amazing to me because that's pretty well documented.
So he wrote, John did size, prejudice.
Yeah, that was
Iowa, Missouri, Bill McCartney, Harvey Perlman, Miami and Florida State, Ghosts, Texas, and Barry Switzer.
Yeah,
that was his list.
Also, the Barry Switzer thing fascinates me because he's in this element now where I just find him like charming,
pretty enjoyable.
Yeah, I have never
because you think it's a rivalry built on respect.
I don't think it's a rivalry at all because I was born in 1987 and I don't care. I don't know how else to phrase like. Oklahoma's behind like 9 other teams for me as it relates to Nebraska.
Yeah,
Oklahoma means when they played these games, and like you'll have these media members talk about like what this has meant and the historic nature of it. And I once was asked to like sit down for the documentary that someone was doing about the Nebraska Oklahoma.
Oh no!
And I was like, I don't know if I'm the guy for this because it doesn't.
You got the wrong guy.
No, you're perfect because we need someone to balance out all these other guys that are like. It was the most amazing thing.
Oh, they got you for that reason.
And so then I end up just being the jackass that's the opposite of everyone else.
Yeah, I remember 2001, I guess.
Yeah, it's basically I just talked about that.
Matt O'Hanlon had 3 picks in that one game.
But I will never view Oklahoma in the way that a Nebraska fan 10 to 15 years older than me would think. Ever.
Same.
I just will never
We're obviously in the same territory.
Whereas, Colorado, Missouri,
I don't know what it is for me. We're basically the same age. Missouri just doesn't really bother me all that much.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't know why.
The Missouri from 2004 to 2010 was probably the most hated team for me for Nebraska in that stretch.
Yeah, especially like 07 to 10. I mean, those are the games that I guess I don't.
Whenever Brad Smith first arrived to whenever Nebraska left the Big Ten, that's the peak
2010.
of, and then like, being there for the game on the Thursday, like being there in 2008 when Nebraska ties it and it's 7-7 and then they end up losing like 56-17. And I already at that point, I didn't really want Bo Pelini to begin with. And then at that point in the season, you've lost to Virginia Tech and blown out at home by basically Missouri. And I was done. I was like out.
2009 was cool though.
Yeah, 2009 was.
2010 was cool too.
2010 was great.
Yeah.
The last time they played.
I remember Roy Halou.
Yeah. What an individual game.
That was a great time.
So
I don't know. Missouri doesn't do it for me. Colorado does.
Yeah. Does Kansas State? Because Bishop was saying Kansas State doesn't do much for him either.
No. Kansas State is almost like if I'm to put myself back in the Nebraska was good, like my childhood days.
Sure.
K-State was like a little pat on the head. I'm like, oh, they're nice.
K-State was
I don't
like
mind them very
there's
much.
individual moments in there, but it didn't rise to the level certainly of Missouri.
I don't
or
remember
Colorado.
them being really good. That's the problem.
Right.
Like I was.
You have no Michael Bishop.
My
El
adolescence
Roberson.
was after that.
Yeah.
El Roberson, sure, but like it's mostly there and after.
No, that makes sense.
So I don't remember them being.
And then,
awesome.
of course, Texas. There's always Texas.
Texas definitely does it for me. I've heard a lot of people who don't care about Texas.
I don't get
I
as
definitely care about
bothered
Texas
as other people do, but so much of like Nebraska football for me, Texas is like the foil in so many different ways.
Yeah, really, it's just spread out around the world, and the the Terrence Nunn
Yep.
game, and
2002 for me.
2002 and 1990. Well, 1999 they won.
96, 98.
Yeah.
No, there's always Texas. The first time I ever watched Nebraska lose on a television, it was Texas.
Ouch.
And 1996. And
Did you watch them lose on a radio at some point?
Well, they lost to Arizona State that season, but it's one of those where I didn't listen to the game. You just see the newspaper headline. You're like, well, I've never seen Nebraska lose.
That never happened.
At that point, it just seemed like a foreign concept.
Yeah. So their list on ESPN was Steve Spurrier, number 1, Lane Kiffin, Johnny Manziel, the Boz, who you thought would be number 1 when we did this quickly yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
The early 90s Miami teams, Notre Dame, ESPN, on an ESPN article. Tim Tebow.
Not a villain.
Not a villain. I agree. Deion Sanders, definitely. Caleb Williams?
No.
I don't really see that one either. So there was a couple things in this list I'm like, I just don't really get it.
Yeah.
The
Caleb Williams inclusion doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
And then the 90s Miami sort of eliminates like how hated 2000s Miami and Kellen Winslow Jr. was.
Right.
And, some of the guys that were on those teams.
Miami.
Yeah, I would have just put Miami.
Miami is a huge villain throughout
People
the history
hate
of college
Miami
football.
now.
People hate Miami now.
So,
and Miami's actually kind of like likable now. Miami's a lot more likable now than they were 15 years ago.
Well, they're more likable with Darian Mensah than they are with Carson Beck.
Definitely.
I did not care for Carson Beck. He doesn't rise to the level of villain.
You were not as excited as Chris Collinsworth was last night.
I certainly would not have been had I been watching at that exact moment.
He was loving it. He was loving it last night. He's like, this is great.
Oh, man.
I agree, though.
Did Mike hit him with it's a long season. Chris.
Basically, yeah.
Chris got too excited for multiple things throughout that broadcast.
He was basically setting up to put Carson Beck over Jacoby Brisket.
Wow.
And Mike Tirico stopped him. He was like, let's not do a quarterback controversy on the first drive of the preseason. Okay. And he's like,
I love how much Chris Collinsworth loves football.
I love how much he loves football too.
He is one of my favorites for sure.
So much fun.
Yeah. So that list, again, it feels like it's kind of recently biased in there. Is Lane Kiffin number 2?
I don't know that one's really played out yet. I mean, obviously
he's on the list. I have no problem with him being on the list.
He did a thing that makes him a villain now. He definitely had some other villainous times, but he also had a redemption arc.
Sure.
And now he has left the redemption arc in the dust. But we haven't seen what happens in the supervillain moment.
Right.
Because he's now a supervillain.
He would be less than Miami for me, based on Miami's just general history. I think Notre Dame, I think that's fair. They're considered much more of a villain.
Recently, I've enjoyed Lane Kiffin, until about 4 months ago. Well, 8-10 months ago.
Some of it, even Notre Dame, some of it is they're more of a villain when it's Lou Holtz and Marcus Freeman, who everybody likes.
Yeah.
So that element has to be a part of it too, I would imagine. I do appreciate ESPN putting ESPN on there.
Yeah, nice job.
There's an element of self-awareness that only adds to them being.
I don't think it was a very good list, but it got us thinking.
It did get us thinking. And it made me ask you because,
all right,
again, unsportsmanlike conduct of the Nebraska one.
Yes.
And I don't want to recover that ground. There's other angles to take, but this was the one that I thought of mostly because I kind of wanted to put you in the frame of mind of all right, let's go back throughout history here.
Perfect.
Who are the Creighton villains?
Okay, so I saw this question this morning and I furiously started typing into my computer, and here's what it said. I don't even remember what I wrote. This morning,
I wrote this question early last night.
I saw it only this morning.
Wow.
And so I just started ripping off names, and here's what came out of my fingers this morning when I saw this. Eric Dixon, Marcus Howard, everyone who played on those last couple of Wichita State teams like Clanthony Early, Takale Cotton, Malcolm Armstead, Joe Ragland, Garrett Stutz, Greg Marshall. Ron Baker was a freshman on the last Mo Valley team. So I didn't really he was good, but he wasn't in that supervillain realm. Lee Castle, Dan Hurley, Hassan Diarra, and then there's 100 more, but those are the ones I just ripped off.
So Dan Hurley makes the list, even though you like Dan Hurley.
Oh, yeah. Dan Hurley is a villain.
Okay.
Absolutely. That doesn't mean that I can't like him.
Okay. All right.
Dan Hurley is absolutely Dan Hurley, like,
Look, he's a Creighton villain, even though Creighton had success against him.
yes.
Is it the villain because he's able to win titles?
He is a villain because he acts like a villain.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Like he wants to be the villain.
Right. I get that.
That's why he's a villain.
I get that.
A lot of these other guys, so Dixon just had like a lot of success. Marcus Howard had a lot of success. Those last two Wichita State teams were just so annoying. Lee Castle's
Greg Marshall speaks for itself.
Lee Castle's the official who called the foul. That was not a foul. That was a foul.
I knew he would be on here.
Hassan Diarra tried to fight Jabari Neal that one time at the Big East tournament, which was fun. That's just off the top of my head. I was thinking of the one time where I watched Colt Ryan come off curl screens for 40 straight minutes and drop 43 like on all mid-range 2-pointers in 2012. That was a great time. I don't know that makes him
a villain.
Villain though. So there's been a bunch of guys who have just killed them over the years. But I wonder who would be on people's a Hauser.
Definitely not
brother.
Sam Hauser. I think he's the one that hit the tying shot.
The one that should not have counted.
But a great Celtic.
Like I'm trying to think of guys that, because mostly Creighton's NCAA tournament failures have been their own undoing. So like it hasn't been like one
You're
guy.
not going to take like Dalton Connect or whatever.
No, they really didn't have.
Right.
That was okay.
I was just trying to think of one player on that Tennessee team.
Yeah.
And that was the first name I could come up
They
with.
had some guys. If Trevor Relaford would have hit that shot for Alabama in 2012 or 12 over Josh Jones, then he would have been one because they would have got bounced in the first round, but they won that game and got over that hump. They played Duke and the North Carolina still hates Creighton to this day because they claim that Ethan Raggi broke
the John Henson
broke what's his name's wrist.
John Henson. Okay, so how many more?
Kendall Marshall. Was it Kendall Marshall?
Oh, I thought it was John Henson.
John Henson was in there, but they broke, or maybe it was Page, whatever it was. But yeah, there was Grant Gibbs was winking in that game. I mean, that was a great time.
So
Kevin Pittsnoggle, I got a text that says Kevin Pittsnoggle.
That's a good one.
Definitely got bounced by Kevin Pittsnoggle in the NCAA tournament for sure. Blue Jay says it was Kendall Marshall.
Okay,
Yeah.
How many more wins does Fred Hoiberg have to get on a villains list?
I mean, he is the coach at Nebraska, but he's not villainous. You know,
No, he's definitely not. I don't think he's villainous.
He is not villainous.
Iowa might think he's villainous.
He's not. He's, as Sipple would say, he's non-threatening. He's non-threatening. He's non-threatening.
You can hear Sipple say
He's just non-threat. Like that doesn't mean that he can't win all the games against Creighton, but like he's just not.
All right.
Like he's not going to sit there and rub it in everybody's face.
No,
not
he
publicly.
certainly would not.
Not publicly. Maybe
Privately, he might.
Maybe privately. He would. Blue Jay says Bruce Weber, good one. That was the Illinois team after Creighton beats Florida that year in 2002. Terrell Taylor.
Yeah, and then was he the Kansas State coach when didn't Kansas State take out Creighton on their Elite Eight run?
Oh yeah, God. Once again, I blame Creighton for that one. The Rhode Island game, like I'm not mad at whoever was on the Rhode Island team.
There was somebody on that team.
There was a guy on the Rhode Island team. His name was like Tubby or Tibby or something like that. I don't remember that guy, but
that was a great morning.
I just remember being sad because Creighton played like absolute ass in that game. It happens. We have some more on the text line and on YouTube, so keep sending those in. People that you hate. Maybe the hour of hate is back. We're back after this on 1620 The Zone. Brett writes in on Twitter on the Liquid Trucking Zone Twitter feed at Connor Happer. He says, I forgot about this. Bruce Weber was the Southern Illinois coach initially. I always say that Creighton had, all the other best teams in Missouri Valley were always Creighton's rival for as long as I could remember. So there was the 2 years that Drake was good.
Yeah.
There was Southern Illinois was most of the 2000s.
The Saluki.
And then it was Wichita.
Yeah.
And that was it. I'm sure there was Missouri, there was Southwest Missouri State and
South of Northern Iowa.
No, there was Northern Iowa, obviously, they're very good for a period of time as well. So it always just felt like it was, I don't know. That's the way I looked at it. Anyway.
Yeah,
but I was very, very Creighton centric.
Well, that was the point of the list, was to be Creighton centric.
That's true.
It's for you to dive deep into your Creightonness and, pluck out who you still have a little bit of, hate for.
I am always happy to dive deep into my Creightonness. Someone says, no, actually, it's nobody. So nobody's saying this. My top villain is Ed Service for intentionally stalling a baseball game to get it canceled when Nebraska had the bases loaded in the 7th and were tied 4-4. That was back in 2023. That's the first time I'm hearing about this.
I don't recall him intentionally stalling. It was a human rain delay here.
I will say that Ed did get under Nebraska fans.
Oh, yeah. He would definitely be in the Creighton, Nebraska series.
Oh, good one. Yeah.
Maybe that's the list.
The Creighton, Nebraska.
Across all sports.
Across all sports.
So Grant Gibbs is number 1.
Grant Gibbs, Trampetaway.
Yeah, they got to be up there.
They're both on there.
I don't know from the Creighton side of things who would be villains for Nebraska basketball because there hasn't been enough winning.
Yeah.
And you've talked about Fred Hoiberg, there's not this vitriol or whatever that he has towards Creighton, so he doesn't make himself a target. Just there's no
Miles
did. Doug McDermott wouldn't be on this list, but I feel like Dana Altman would be.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. And it's hard to, maybe it's just
it definitely makes sense.
Maybe it's just the Jim Polan in me that Dana Altman would be more of a villain than Doug McDermott, but
Blue Jay on YouTube says Derek Walker.
Doug or Greg McDermott. Interchangeable for me at this point, but
Derek Walker just because he, was killing Kalkbrenner.
Right.
Maybe
Mono. Then are you going to put Braxton Mia for keeping Kalkbrenner scoreless from the field up there?
Yeah, I guess.
And Andrew Morgan?
I guess you'd probably have to. It was a team effort.
There's a handful of guys that, as I think about it from the Nebraska perspective, I'm trying to think of
who are your guys?
I think just who really stands out from the player, because it was
you
such
didn't
were
hate
often
Doug.
Such beatdowns that there's not like there was just one individual that brought it over. The
but
top.
all the Nebraska fans talk about during the games is, or even when they're not playing each other and Creighton's off doing their own thing or whatever, is how much they flop and stuff. That's all I ever hear anyway.
Yeah,
they're flopping all over the place.
There is some flopping.
Of course,
there's definitely some flopping.
Of course, there's flopping.
There's
flopping everywhere.
I don't recall, or I wouldn't think of Kalkbrenner as a villain, though I did find him endlessly frustrating that he never fouled somehow.
He didn't foul.
Yeah.
What's so weird about that?
What's weird about it? I don't know. He basically puts his body into a guy, hits his arm, but it's not a foul because
he doesn't.
He has a Wisconsin-based offensive line reputation of doing something.
It's not Giancarlo's fault.
Anytime
reputation-based officiating is garbage.
Anytime there was contact, people would be going into him because he was a giant, tall man.
He is a tall man. I cannot take that away.
He was always straight up.
Always.
Pretty much.
Never caught leaning. It's hard though, because I just don't feel like there's enough. Gibbs is so obviously far and away one.
That makes a lot of sense.
And I don't even know that there's a close second. That's why you kind of have to just sort of jump around or try to, Ed Service might be second.
Wow.
Which is something.
We should get head on the horn.
I'm now trying to think in the series with baseball if there's anybody that really stands out from either side.
I got a text from a friend that says Baylor Shireman could be on that list. Remember Baylor Shireman blowing kisses a couple of years ago when they won by 30, not 29?
Not particularly.
Really?
Dude, the red out crowd.
Yeah,
I remember that.
You got to understand, though, so many people have blown kisses in Nebraska's direction in recent years. Every Iowa kicker
That is true, but we hate those guys.
But this is more memorable.
Duncan.
Yeah,
This is more memorable because this is a guy west of Lincoln.
Yeah, Joey, this is definitely more memorable.
it's not.
Definitely more memorable than
And
all of the times
and I'm
Nebraska
sure Nebraska
lost on a
fans
field goal.
wanted him on the
This
team.
ranks
and
up there
Crane
with the
got him.
Taysom Hill thing.
Just fondly.
Sometimes the way that your brain works,
It's very funny.
I do not understand it. I want to understand it, but I do not.
You didn't hate Baylor. You didn't dislike Baylor.
I mean, like, I certainly didn't hate him. He played for South Dakota State, and I rooted for that version.
That
of
is
Baylor
true.
Shireman.
That is true.
I watched him play in high school basketball, and he was a good player for Aurora. So there wasn't like a hate there.
Okay. Maybe there's not as much hate in your heart as we thought.
Oh, there's plenty of hate.
Well, speaking of that,
I
Bamon-
tend not to hate athletes. This is
Okay.
kind of what I'm coming around with it. It's more probably just like I enjoy the rivalry aspect between the fan bases. And
yeah,
so-
there's a lot of guys where it's like, yeah, I don't like them, but I'm glad they exist.
yeah, well, yeah,
Yeah.
certainly don't want people not to exist, but
Okay. Yes. No, I don't. I don't want that. Bama writes in on YouTube. He says, "I want to hear Schaefer's Vikings villains."
Oh,
That would be extensive.
well, you would need two different lists. You'd need the self-sabotage villains, the internal aspect of it, and then the ones externally, which would be, Greg Williams and the Bounty, so Sean Payton, everything related to the 2009.
Shout out
Saints.
to Michael.
So that would be up there. You'd have what was his name? Nate Poole, the guy who caught the pass that kept him out of the playoffs for the Cardinals.
Oh,
That would be there. You could have whoever helped the Giants steal the electronic communications that the Vikings were trying to use in the NFC Championship game in 2001. So that could be on there. Then, like I said, it's a lot of internal stuff. It's Brett Favre, both as a Viking with that pass, but then also as a Packer.
Who was the guy that missed the field goal against the Falcons, wasn't it?
Gary Anderson.
Gary
So
Anderson.
then you have two field goal kickers and Gary Anderson
Blair
and Blair
Walsh.
Walsh. You have Aaron Rodgers would be close to number one on any list, just because one, he killed Minnesota, and two, he's just the most annoying opponent that they've ever had.
although the Bears, I think, would be more annoyed by him.
Yeah, well, they had less success against them.
Yeah.
for
Famously
sure.
owned them.
He owned them.
I could put Dan Campbell on there for just being annoying in general.
Oh wow!
Or just this
a lion
version of
makes
the Lions.
list. Yeah.
But I wouldn't put like Stafford or Sanders or John, like any of their great players, because it wasn't, it's more just the Dan Campbell of it all. Yeah, the Vikings list would be interesting, but like I said, there'd be a lot of internal self-sabotage. Brad Childress would go on the list of villains. Randy Moss could arguably be both a villain and
Randy can't be a villain.
I mean, if he could have figured out how to just manage to stay in Minnesota, they could have had that thing humming for a lot longer than they did.
Yeah.
But
we
and then he
remember
comes
the good
back
times.
and he's great for like a couple weeks, and then he self-sabotages his way out of town again
It happens.
by referring to the catering as stuff that he wouldn't feed his dog.
But years later, the memories about Randy are positive.
Oh yeah, no, everybody loves Randy Moss. I love Randy Moss.
Nathan Zajasker writes in, segment idea, you guys draft a starting five with all professional athletes of non-basketball sports and let chat vote on which team would win. All professional athletes of non-basketball sports.
We have to draft a basketball team of athletes that don't play basketball.
Okay.
So I think that's what he's saying.
What a weird idea.
This was often one of the favorite hallway conversations amongst Nebraska media members. Hey, what would your starting five of football players be? And then we would ask various football players, and you would get lots of different answers.
Did anybody take Brant Banks or Noah Vedral?
No one.
Weird.
Those were not names that were coming up when this would. You get a lot of people that would tell you how good they are, and then the person who overheard it that was on the team would immediately come over
That's
and
good.
dispute this fact.
That's a good topic.
It was fun.
Topic alert.
It was fun.
Love a
Yeah,
good topic.
it's something we should ask Jacob on Tuesday, who his Nebraska football players starting five basketball team. Because he loves thinking. He and I would have these conversations.
Yeah.
This is who I was talking to about these things.
All right. So let's take a break, and it is time for our Friday shout outs. I haven't been around for a Friday shout outs in a couple weeks, so I'd like to hear your guys'
Shout out for you
shout-outs.
being here on a Friday.
Thank you. And I don't plan on having I think my Fridays in the summer are now over.
Okay.
I think I'm here now.
You still have some Fridays left if you want to take them off. Not next Friday, but
I would
after
love to
that.
take them off.
You can't take the one off after
Damn
that
it.
either because you got to go to the golf tournament.
Damn it. So I am out of Fridays.
Do you want the last Friday of the month?
Kind of.
Okay.
I want any days.
Have your people talk to my people.
All right, 402-951-1620. Get your shout-outs in. Also in the Liquid Trucking Zone Twitter feed at Hap and Schaefer. Their Friday shout-outs. Everybody loves to get shouted out on the radio, including people who love to shout out the movie Norbit every week. Preemptive shout-out on that one. Back into this on 1620 The Zone. We are yet to be joined by our good friend Jake Sorensen from the Ticket in Lincoln coming up in about 15 or 20 minutes here, but it's time for Friday shout outs. Everybody loves to get shouted out on the radio, right? I mean, this is a tale as old as time.
Yeah, this is the opportunity. Someone did something good, something great happened. You can just give shout out.
And you can make the people on the radio say the things that you want them to say.
Right.
Which has always been, I think, really enticing for the general public. And now we are those people. Let's go to the text line from the 402. Shout out to the Happer and Schaefer show for allowing me to reconnect with a long lost friend. What's this about?
Yeah, I want to know more.
We have allowed you to reconnect with a long lost friend.
Someone write this as a story, and then it can be a headline for Joey, and we would click.
We would. Yeah.
I would love to click on a story about us.
Maybe we could go virus.
Get to
That'd
work.
be fun.
And also from this person, shout out to long lost friends. What is that? What do you think that means?
How long does it have to be long and then lost?
I would say 5 years.
Oh, I was going to say 15.
Yeah. That sounds...
But maybe
sounds,
more. Maybe like 20.
If there's someone you haven't talked to in 10 years that you used to see a lot,
maybe it's a percentage of your life.
It's got to be a percentage. Well, is it a percentage of your life that they were in and then now they're out?
That they've been missing.
Yeah.
That they've been missing from. So like I'm 32.
Sure.
No, I'm 34. And if 50% of my life is what, 17 years, if they've been gone for 17 years, then that's long lost.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay. I think that's it. It has to be 50% of your life.
I think that's fair.
Joey's what, 27?
Yeah.
So 13 years, roughly, or 14 if you want to go.
What do you think about that, Joey?
over.
You good with that?
I'm fine with that.
All
It's
right.
already been about 10 years since I graduated, and I've talked to probably
But they're not long lost yet.
2% of the people. Well,
They will be long lost soon. Don't worry. They will be long
There
lost.
also has to be the lost element of it, which isn't, because not everything is lost. Like there's people I haven't talked to in 20 years that
That's
if
true.
I saw and then talked to, wasn't like I lost talking out to them.
That's true.
I just didn't.
You just
did not have an interest.
purposefully, maybe even for some of them. Here's Pedro. Hi, guys. Friday shout out to the old Hot Point Appliance Company. My 1979 refrigerator quit working this week. Wow.
That is old.
That is
Wow.
incredible. A lot of birthdays, holidays, dinners, leftovers, and beers were stored in that refrigerator. I will miss you.
That is a long time for a fridge.
That is a lot. That is a lot of
Yeah,
fridging.
1970s. That is early era.
If they were gone, if that fridge was gone, it would be a long lost fridge.
You do spend a lot of time with your fridge.
Hey, yeah,
Your fridge is a really important part of
maybe-
your house.
yeah, maybe fridges should be more sentimental than we give them credit for. Like when you lose a fridge, it's like losing a friend.
I don't even know how long like fridges are supposed to last.
I don't know. I think the new fridges suck,
Well, I think that's true of everything.
right? And the new everything sucks.
That's what they tell us anyway.
The new fridges that were just built in the last like 5 years, they only last like 4 years.
And the
now.
people that come over to do any repairs will be like, yeah, they don't build them like they used to.
That is what
And
they say.
then
Same
they're
thing
like-
with any appliance,
they're like-
ovens, sinks, whatever. Like
They
whatever.
blame a lot of it on the electronic components, the smart components, and all of that. It's like this goes out, and people just don't want the fridge even more. Even if the fridge is still working, they just don't want.
So according to Al, the average refrigerator lasts between 10 to 15 years.
Wow. I don't even know if they're lasting that long anymore.
Yeah.
The lifespan varies by style and tier, obviously. Simple top freezer models often last up to 20 years, while complex, it's mentioning French door or built-in tech-heavy units typically range from 10 to 20 years.
Oh, yeah, right. No chance.
If I get 10
Thank you, Al.
years out of my current fridge that was purchased at this time last year, I'd consider it a win.
John writes in a fridge from 1979. Pedro's electric bill will probably go down about $35 per month now.
I do think that's true.
Possible. Text from the 402. Shout out to the clouds and a nice cool breeze in the mornings. So much better than hot as bleep sun.
It's tough though because it has been so gloomy. I've wanted a little bit more sun, but it was kind of nice mowing with cloud cover and not having to overly sweat.
I've received a text from a friend. I'm sorry, did you say they don't make sinks like they used to? I mean, I guess they kind of do make sinks like they used to.
Maybe sinks are different.
Maybe sinks are different.
Maybe everyone's going to the farmhouse, and the farmhouse isn't as good as the other style.
They don't drain right anymore. Zeke writes in, hey, boys, Zeke here. Happy Friday to you. Shout out to the 1988 O'Neill Irish State Championship baseball team. It was on this day 38 years ago that the Irish brought O'Neill its only men's baseball state championship with a win over defending champions Hickman Norris. And shout out to the Chicago Cubs, too.
Hickman Norris was good even at that point, too.
Yeah, that's crazy.
First of all, that is a terrific shout out and exactly why Friday shout outs exist. So
Yeah.
thank you for that.
That's what I'm talking about.
But secondly, Hickman Norris. Wow, what a power.
A powerhouse for a long, long time. Alex and Lincoln says, shout out to all the repairmen and women.
Yes, shout out to them.
I agree completely. Follow up from the long lost friend thing. So for context, I won the Ocon tickets and messaged a friend I haven't talked to in a decade to see if he wanted to come along. And we had a great time and we talk now.
Look at this.
Wonderful.
Oh my goodness.
That's great.
Happer and Schaefer. Absolutely.
Did it.
Bringing people together.
Whopper writes in, everyone has a path in life, and this is more or less where mine started. My name is Norbert Albert Rice, and I was an orphan. I like to think my parents loved me very much, but just didn't have the means to properly care for me. Those are the first words of the movie Norbit.
Shout out indeed. From John Bishop, shout out to all the gamblers who took the over in last night's Hall of Fame game.
Interesting. I agree with those people. All right, Friday shout-outs are in the books. We'll have a couple stragglers. Back on the other side next on 1620 The Zone.
Bowling now.
It's time for Free Bowling, where the producer reads questions on things happening in the world of sports. Connor and Mike will have the answers.
Joey, in that graphic that we just had up on YouTube, the Happer and Schaefer are the balls. What are you doing? What are you doing in this picture? Where was this?
This was in Colorado. This was after my so this was when
You're
I was
so like what? Like the sun must be absolutely smashing you.
So here's the story. So this was the day after the Packers blew that game against the Bears, that infamous Romeo Doubs onside kick game, and Matt was celebrating in the studio for Blue Jay overtime.
Awesome.
So after that show, that was a late night show. I had an early flight to Colorado, so I was not able to get sleep that night afterwards. So I was up for like probably 30 hours, and I was at the Denver airport for like 6 hours waiting for my connection to Alamosa. So I'm pretty tired at this point. I think I passed
What were
out.
you pointing at?
I was pointing at a deer. I was feeding a deer.
And so I always thought your face was like this attempt to kind of replicate if you look like Beavis and Butthead faces combined.
Yeah.
That's what I always assumed it was, but now there's a whole other story behind it. You also look like you're staring directly into the sun.
That's
as that photo.
the best part.
Yeah. I think it was during the evening, and I'm obviously facing west.
The sun is obviously very, very, very bright in Colorado.
Yes.
Also, we got an extra shout out here from Bet Free Mike. Shout out to Coming Home, so I don't have to be a 4A to 4P listener. It is every time we go to Vegas, I'm always like, this is so weird. Why is this show starting? Well, when I was doing the midday show, why is this show starting at 9 o'clock in the morning? One time was that this show where I started the show at? Yeah, it was during the Crown.
We did it during the Crown.
Started the show at 4 a.m.
From your room.
That was really weird.
How'd you feel about it?
I didn't feel good about it.
When we got done, did you go back to bed?
No, I couldn't.
Because at that point, it's then what?
It was 8.
Yeah. You can't go back to bed.
I don't think so. Although you could sleep at any time in Vegas. That was crazy.
Did you go immediately to a craps table?
I think I just took
blackjack?
I think I just took a really long walk.
Did a coffee walk?
Yeah, I love a good Vegas walk in the morning.
Vegas walks.
Great walk.
Great walk.
One of the better walks.
Walking on the strip is fantastic.
Yeah.
You know.
But I was up north. I was at Fremont.
That's less exciting to walk.
But it was still a fun
Good
walk. Still a good walk.
But not as good.
Okay. What are our topics today, Joey?
Connor and Mike, would you take this bet? Here's this tweet if you're watching on the video stream. This is from Mark Palmer on Twitter. Golfers, would you take this deal? In quotes, you have from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. to birdie all 18 holes on your home course. You can play them in any order you want and as many times as you need. If you birdie all 18, you get $50 million. If you don't, you go to jail for 20 years.
I'm an obvious no for this.
So
but
it's
you
so
are irrationally confident.
Can I have some questions?
Oh yeah, no, we're working through. We may not get to anything else on free ball.
On a drivable hole, or on a par 5, if I hit a bad tee shot, can I just re-tee?
So this was coming up on Twitter because this was people were into
this would save me an immense amount of time.
And it was largely decided that you could do it to where, like, if you hit a bad drive, you just start back over hitting a drive.
Perfect.
You don't have to finish out the hole. The goal is that you start from tee box to finish. There's nothing about having to complete the hole to then go back and start it over.
That is extremely helpful.
Yep.
6 a.m. to 8 p.m. So I have all the hours of the daylight. I mean, like, I'm getting 1 or 2 birdies on the first crack. Right? That's a normal. Like, I get a birdie around.
Yeah.
That happens. That's not.
I think I have one like every other time I go out for 18 holes.
Yeah.
So like that's but I'm less effective golfer than you are.
I just really don't want to go to jail for 20 years.
You'd be putting a lot on the line here.
But I do really want $50 million.
So part of it is, okay, you have to figure out your home course. I'm assuming in this case, Stone Creek.
Probably. It's the place where I've shot my best round.
And so then you're probably going, I would go Blackstone, Sandstone if I had to pick 2 of the 18.
Sure.
because I hate Greystone with a passion.
Okay.
That's also where I tip the cart, so I don't need those memories when I'm doing this.
Bad juju.
I thought so. My thought was
I'm considering this.
the first thing that you should do is you would play all the par threes.
Okay.
And because you wanted to, using that strategy where if you don't have a makeable putt, you just continue to, start back over until you give yourself the opportunity to get those as birdies. That's also, I think, the hardest ones to get.
Yeah, because you got to hit a great shot.
You have one less shot to work with, and so
especially with our ability to
right.
putt, which is minimal.
I asked a professional golfer this question, or a former professional golfer this question, and he said he would save the par threes for last because chances are it's going to take you a long time. That's a lot of swings, and your energy is going to drop throughout the course of this whole thing.
Yeah.
So he's like, you should do the par threes last because that's where you need to save your energy.
That is definitely one of the major concerns. The ability to withstand a good swing for the entire day.
Yeah.
Which usually doesn't last an entire round.
I also asked, his home course now is Firethorn. I asked him what hole would be his last hole that he would like. Because that's the other strategizing. Do you try to get the hardest hole out of the way right away? Or do you, like, are there holes that you play well? If I was going off of what was the last real home course I had, and it would be Firethorn, there's certain holes that I play better than others. I'm just going to knock those out immediately.
I think, all things considered, I'm not taking the deal.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely not taking the deal.
I thought about it a lot, though. Maybe that's the irrational confidence you speak of.
I wondered if you would actually try to take the deal. It's $50 million.
It was under heavy consideration.
You fired a 79 at this course.
Yeah, it was under heavy consideration.
Okay.
But ultimately, I'm just going to sit it out.
Okay.
Like Matt McMaster in betting me on anything.
Matt would take the deal and go to jail. Because on average, he hits it 265 down the middle.
Yeah, definitely. All right, what else?
Former Celtic and current member of Eastern Conference co-favorites Philadelphia 76ers, Jaylen Brown said he threw his phone across the room when he got the news he was traded this offseason. Similar to me. But anyway, Brown said maybe someday he'll share all the details, but he's moving on. Do you believe him?
I don't think that guy's moving on at all.
What? Why do you not think he's moving on?
Because he's going to keep referencing something about the disrespect. It's not that he'll move on with his career, but he's always going to mention the disrespect he felt from Boston or from the organization or whatever.
Yeah.
It will be this literal chip that you can see on his shoulder.
That will
all
come
the time.
up. Yeah.
When they play each other in the regular season or the postseason, it will get mentioned. I don't think he's actually, and then at some point he's just going to name.
I don't think that I'll be able to think about Jaylen Brown getting traded to the 76ers without thinking about Bill Simmons' colonoscopy.
I was thinking about just Joey.
Because he said Jaylen Brown's reaction when he heard the news that he got traded, I was thinking of Bill Simmons when he was on the hospital bed after he got a colonoscopy and what he said about it afterwards.
Good for him to get a colonoscopy.
And now I have Paul George rammed up there.
A moldy ham sandwich. And Hugo Gonzalez.
Yeah, you still have that.
That guy.
All right, what else?
Last one. Speaking of Boston, the Red Sox outlasted the White Sox in 13 innings and have now won 8 straight. Boston is 5 games back of Mike Schaefer's beloved Tampa Bay Rays. And I know it's not your favorite team.
Least favorite.
Forget the wild card. Can the Red Sox win the division?
Yeah.
The way they're playing right now, they look like they're going to represent the AL. They look like the best team, and it's not really particularly close.
Famously, as you know, there is a team who gets exactly this hot at exactly this point in the season every year, and it ends up not meaning much.
Sure.
But it's not like they didn't have the pieces before.
They're just playing good baseball.
They're just playing a whole hell of a lot better. Like, it makes you think what they weren't at the beginning of the year when their manager got fired was just an aberration. And this is not happening because their manager got fired, by the way. It's just they're playing up to their sort of standard. And now they've added pieces.
They hated Alex Cora.
They did hate Alex Cora.
I think
that much has been very clear. So what if they're now on a separate 8-game winning streak.
Right.
They had won 13 in a row before
13
that.
or 14? Was it 13?
So let me go back to July.
They are playing at an unbelievable clip of baseball right now. Like, they're just the win percentage they're on since May is nuts.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, it was something sort of absurd before that. So they must have won, I don't know, 25 out of 30 games or something
they're
like
winning
that.
at like a 750 to 800 win percentage in baseball, which is really hard to do.
Yeah, pretty nuts.
Going 8-2 every 10 is very hard.
I do not enjoy when the Red Sox are good.
Yeah, no, I don't like it.
But there is a certain part of me as a baseball fan that just enjoys when teams get super hot like this. And it's sort of magnetic, you know? Like, I love when that happens.
What's fascinating, too, is they have a bunch of guys that are out with injury.
I know.
So they're doing this without even what would conceivably be their best lineup.
And now they have Adley Rutschman,
who's one of those guys that's hurt. They traded for a hurt guy. They traded one of their younger pitchers for Curtis Mead, and he broke his wrist immediately. And then he's out.
Sometimes teams trade for people that are hurt, like the Los Angeles Dodgers and Chris Bubich.
And then he'll come back and be a big part of the postseason.
One more from Adam Schefter before we take a break and talk to Jake Sorensen. The Lions are signing veteran defensive tackle Ben Stilley to a 1-year deal. Is that Ben Stilley?
He's the only veteran defensive tackle named Ben Stilley I know of.
Not Ben Stiller. That's probably why Schefter tweeted it.
One of the most common autocorrects that would happen when I was writing recruiting stories is you'd write about Ben, or just football stories, you'd write about Ben Stilley, and it would autocorrect to Ben Stilley.
Do you think there's a 100% chance or a 95% chance that Schefter only tweeted that to get the engagement for people saying that it was Ben Stiller and not Ben Stilley?
Probably a 95% chance, because there might be 100% chance that he's that football centric, that this is a thing that has to.
I don't buy it. He's trying to get the clicks.
Maybe.
Jake Sorensen is next on 1620 The Zone.
I'm kind of psychotic. So what else is new? I think you guys both know that my psychology is probably really can't assess how it operates. I don't even know how my brain works at all most days either. I'm a Miami Dolphins fan, guys. We have not won a playoff game in 25 years. I don't believe ever in moral victories because they're a waste of time. My whole life would be a moral victory at that point. They're going to lose. It's the way sports go. It's very hard to go undefeated. I got the Royals going to the World Series this year. I don't care. I will follow this team wherever they go, and I will not complain about where they play at. I don't want them to lose a game, but I kind of want to lose a game for the sake of
Jake
pressure.
Sorensen for losing.
Fridays with Jake Sorensen.
If I see him, I would not shake his hand.
93.7 The Ticket on Happer and Schaefer. 1620 The Zone.
We do morning show, guys. We're always on low sleep. That's the way it is.
Say the biggest punishment of all the punishments is young Jake having to hear himself predicting that the Royals are going to the World Series each and every Friday morning when he joins this show. Hi, Jake.
Hey, guys. Yeah, last night, Aaron Bummer, a Nebraska guy, decided to just not pitch at all and give up a bunch of hits and walks, and then it just got worse. And, sweeps are impossible for the Royals this year, so why would we ever expect that?
There are no limits to the possibilities of people who could disappoint you. It could be anybody.
I think the problem was he did pitch.
Well, let's go back to last week. So I talked to Schaefer about how Matt Strom is horrific, and he got DFA'd. They did something right in that regard. And they won 2 games. I thought, okay, maybe things are turning. But no, back to reality last night with the 8th inning woes and 4-3 loss. Series win, positive, but still terrible in general.
Very exciting stuff.
Yeah.
I was even starting. I took one small peek at the standings prior to yesterday. I said they're only 9 games out of a playoff spot. Remember, I said that on the show.
You
Schaefer?
did say that.
They're 9 games out of a playoff spot, and so last night was good because they lost, and now I don't have to think about it anymore.
But the AL remains still so average at best. And
it's trash.
The Royals are just, in a year where it was for the taking to make the playoffs, they just decided, we're good. We'll try again next year if there's a season at all.
Yeah. All right, Jake. So we came up with some stuff this week. We were, I don't know if you guys mentioned this on your show. The ESPN story from Myra Metcalf talking about ceilings for Big Ten basketball programs. Did you see this?
I did see it. We did not discuss it. But I did see a little bit of this.
So it's very high on Nebraska. And so we had this conversation, and I offered Schaefer a contract at the end of the rainbow. And
I signed it.
Schaefer signed it. Maybe I should make it more specific. Here it is. This year, I will guarantee you, if you sign this contract, that Nebraska basketball is a 7 seed in the NCAA tournament. Are you signing that contract, or are you not, with the potential result that literally anything else could happen?
Oh, I'm signing the contract all day, every day.
Okay.
They were a 4 seed last year. That was obviously the best. They've never been that high, but one time before. 7 seed's not bad. That's a good year for a 7 seed. You're comfortably in the dance. There's no injuries if that's the case. You survived them. So sign me up right now, 10 times out of 10 for the 7 seed.
Would you sign it for just any NCAA tournament appearance, just point blank period?
I don't think. Like 11 seed, that means you barely got in, which is it's still better than not making it at all. But no, I'm not signing for anything. But if I'm signing for 7 seed, 100% yes on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's very level-headed. I'm really impressed by you, both of you. I think very level-headed. Because
you thought we wouldn't sign that deal?
I thought that people were going to get out over their skis about what Nebraska.
My skis are safely below my feet.
I'm impressed.
And I'm flying down that hill. Now the problem was I went on a diamond course, and I really shouldn't have because I've never skied before. But the skis are right below me for now.
Yeah, who knows what it's like without rink mass for this team? Bowden Cap, we don't know how he's going to fit. There's some pieces that you love on this team, but there's also you don't know how they're going to gel if they stay healthy. So if I can guarantee a 7 seed, I'm doing that right now, and I'm happy with it. Thank you for the offer, Happer.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I
very kind of you.
As a YouTube commenter says right now, Krecky says, Jake notoriously level-headed, as we always say.
We always think of him as level-headed. The entire Open is just being level-headed.
35 years old, starting to become more mature finally in my life, apparently, in some regard.
Hey, speaking of, what are your thoughts on Nebraska football this year?
Yeah.
Let me tell you this. I hope that we're all wrong. It just seems like it's the most boring team that we've ever covered in our lifetime for Nebraska. And the 3-9 team, we all joke is the best 3-9 team ever. They had some highs. They had a lot of flaws, obviously. I just don't know. I don't get any sort of rah interesting thing about this team. I hope that we're wrong, and maybe Colandrea can be a spark, and that you have a revelation running back with Mackay or Jamal Rule or Tyke Hayes, whoever it is. But I don't get a lot of highs about this team, and I think I feel that from a lot of fans. But you have to hope that that's wrong, and that somebody breaks out and is interesting. That could very well be Colandrea for this season.
Yeah, so it's interesting you've gone back to Colandrea a couple times. We've spent a lot of the week talking about him here.
It's been Tony week,
and so where do you sort of sit with everything with Anthony Colandrea? Are you excited to see what he brings to the offense? Are you cautiously optimistic that this is a better fit for Dana Holgorsen? Where is like the Anthony Colandrea piece for you as you sort of size up Nebraska's football on the offensive side of the ball?
Well, I think no doubt you're going to see him avoid sacks at a better rate than Dillon did. Now, will he break out of the pocket too much and run too soon? That's the big question about Colandrea. But I think he'll mesh well with Dana. I think that it will be a good looking picture there. And I just think that, I mean, as we all know, the question with Colandrea is turnovers. Can he avoid the big fumble or the bad pick at the wrong time? Nebraska has been horrific on both sides of the ball recently in the red zone. They can't score and they can't stop anybody in the red zone. So can he be better offensively? Can he help get points on the board and not just throw picks or fumbles, which has been an issue for a long time? So I'm optimistic. I do like the picture of him. I'm curious in your guys' regard, how different do you think he is from Adrian Martinez as a quarterback?
I think he is more, well, I guess it depends on what version of Adrian Martinez we're talking about. Like what Adrian was supposed to be his freshman year.
That one?
I think it could end up looking pretty similar to that, to be honest with you. Now, the way they used him after his freshman year, where he got gigantic and basically used him as a fullback who could throw sometimes, but was very not confident in doing so. I hope we don't get to that point.
Yeah, I think you need a blend of freshman year Adrian Martinez with a little bit of
what was freshman year
2021 Adrian Martinez, where like he had Samari Toure and he had Stanley Morgan. Those were his best 2 years where he had someone he could get the ball to. We think that Nebraska has wide receivers in Isaiah Hunter or Ja'Cory Barney or Quasi Gilmer, but it'll be sort of on Colandrea to see if he can make that a thing.
So Jake, freshman year Adrian
in 10 games, 10 and a half games.
He missed some games.
Yeah.
He was the injury. Yep.
So 11 games played in, 2,617 passing yards, 17 touchdowns, 8 picks. He also ran for 629 and 8 touchdowns.
So 25 touchdowns.
Yeah, 25 touchdowns and what I say, 7 picks?
Yeah.
8 picks.
Yes.
Probably 2 fumbles. Or something like that.
That'd be pretty good. I think Colandrea's probably throwing for more yards.
I want more touchdowns.
But yeah, that's not a bad thing there, Jake. What do you think?
So if you offered the fan, so you gave the 7 seed pick to the fan for me and Schaefer to say, if you say, hey, these are the stats for Adrian's freshman year, maybe you say, okay, he's going to play 12 games. You account what those stats be for one more game played. Do fans take that and say that's a good season? We accept that because also one of those touchdowns happened. Is it during the bad games and they against North Dakota, or
sure.
does he have them in the big moments? So it's not exactly the easiest thing to take, but those stats were good.
I'd probably turn it down just because I think the ceiling is higher.
Yeah, I need more than that.
Sure,
but it's not bad. I don't think you'd say no to it off face. But
I just wonder how when Adrian was right, when Colandrea is right, is he going to look like a similar brand of football? That's why I think that people have excitement, because that was a very exciting guy to watch with Adrian, but. Also, the question there once again, with running quarterback, those guys, they tend to get banged up, and we'll see what that looks like if he's running the ball, 10, 12 times a game with the scrambles involved too.
We also spent some of this week, and the players talked about this. I don't know if you were over there on Tuesday or not, but they talked about Rob Orich and that defense. I have kind of been someone who's said this. I think Happer's maybe similar, maybe not. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I have like weirdly more confidence of the defense playing at the level that it needs to than the offense getting to the level it needs to be at. Where are you at with that, or just the defense in general? Like how are you feeling here in August at the start of camp about an entirely different looking defense with a new defensive coordinator, with a different structure, different coaches at several key spots? How are you feeling about things on that side of the ball?
I've been one of the rare guys, at least in our station, that's been pretty optimistic about Arch off the bat. I think he can make an impact, and that'll be a good-looking unit for Nebraska. But how could you go against Holgorsen? He's in his second full year at Nebraska. Obviously, different quarterback, but they seem pretty high on this offensive line. Of course, there's questions.
How can I go against Holgorsen?
Yeah, I mean,
Jake, I watched the entire 2025 season.
Well, he claims that Dylan didn't work with him well, and I know that's coach speak. I hear that, but I think that Holgorsen will have a much better year at Nebraska calling plays. It'll be a better looking product. Rob Arch, I believe in him. I think he's going to be really good at Nebraska, but I have to go with Holgorsen having a second full season here. I have to, Schaefer. I have to.
Okay.
And they claim to be pretty high in this offensive line. It looks good on paper. We'll see how it is when they play the games, but
it is a good paper line.
I would lean towards the offense in your question between Arch and Holgorsen, who I feel more confident in. But I do like the picture of Rob Arch having a decent year with Nebraska's defense.
Okay,
I did too. I like the defense.
Where did you go on that? What happened?
I'm taking the defense just because, like, I do like you, Jake. You know, the pieces are not bad on the offensive side. I just wonder about its ability to sort of come together and find a thing that
I can build a narrative for upside with defense way easier than I can for the offense.
Yeah,
that's where I'm at with it.
Well, that's fair. I mean, there's some pieces you just don't know about defensively, but I guess it's the same way on offense. But yeah, I mean that's why we're talking about a team that's probably looking at a 6-6 type season, 7-5 if things go well, 8-4 if things go really well. So that's why I go back to my initial statement that you just don't really have much buzz or excitement about anybody particularly besides Colandrea. And that's why they were kind of a non-story at media days, and I'm not surprised to hear that from last week.
Yeah.
So one of the other things we talked about here today, and this is really important stuff, and that's why we're getting into it here at 9:30. Jake, what is your home golf course right now? What would you consider your home course being?
Well, I played Woodland Hills every Monday for league the past, 10, 11 years. So I guess I have to claim that. I live by Firethorn. I'm not a member at Firethorn. Beatrice is still what I claimed I've played the most of any times, but I've not lived in Beatrice in, 17
so
years.
Woodland, we're saying Woodland?
It's either Woodland or Beatrice.
I guess I'd have to claim Woodland Hills is my home course
right now.
Eagle, yeah.
If you had until 6 a.m. until 8 p.m. on a singular day to birdie every hole at Woodland Hills, could you do it? And if you don't, you're going to jail for 20 years. If you do, $50 million.
Okay, the question is this: do I play the same hole until I get a birdie, like back to back?
You can
You
approach it
can
however
play
you
the
like.
holes in any order, and we've determined that once you tee off, if you decide you have no chance to get a birdie, you can just start right, but you don't have to finish the hole out. Like if you have a bad shot, you can abort and go back to the beginning.
Okay, yeah, I feel good about my chances doing that. If that's the case, then yes, I could definitely do that in a 14-hour span of time.
What do you think the hardest hole to get a birdie on at Woodland Hills is?
13. Hole 13 is the devil hole out there.
Is that the par 3?
No, that's a par 4. It's if you I guess if you're a massive driver, you can try to drive over the pond, but it's a very low, it's a high risk, low reward type of shot there.
Yeah.
It's kind of a layup off the tee box, and then
I hate that hole.
If you were even like a foot past the hole, you're taking a 3-putt at the best. It's the most diabolical green in Nebraska. It's like slanted straight down. Like if you cannot be above that hole or even on the side of it in any regard, you're going to get a 3-putt.
That's a good one.
That is the most difficult hole. The next one, hole 14, is actually very difficult to birdie too. It's with the long carry over the pond. There's trouble left. There's trees right. Difficult drive. If you're in a good spot, you can birdie, but it's a tough drive. So that 2-hole stretch, 13, 14, is the toughest to birdie, or 7 and 8 potentially also at Woodland Hills. But I would say difficult stretch 13, 14 is the one I'd be on the longest.
I think you'd be able to do this, Jake. Like I actually have confidence in you.
Myself.
Yeah. So congratulations on your $50 million.
If I can abort after one shot and go back, that's nearly 100%. I can do it.
Yeah, I'd be worried if you got late into the day and it was not coming around for you. Like, if it start getting in your head, I'd be concerned about that. But I think you could knock it out pretty decently fast.
You guys, how about yourselves? Which course?
I said no. I'm not doing the
definitely
jail.
not taking the bet.
I'm not doing.
You shot in the 70s at the Bromaha last year.
I did at that course at Stone Creek, and I still am not.
We know what the 2 9s would be.
It's too much risk. I can't go to jail for 20 years.
I don't want to go to jail.
Yeah, I could do it. I'm taking.
You could do jail for 20 years.
No. I'm taking the chance of doing the birdie thing and avoiding jail for 20 years. I feel good about that. If I have a 14-hour span, I'm not waiting on anybody at all, and I can afford any time to go back and start over again.
All right. Yeah, we figured you would, by the way. Yeah.
I'm in.
All right, Jake. Talk to you later. Have a good weekend.
See you guys.
Jake Sorensen from Ticket Lincoln. He hosts Early Break with Steve Sipple and Bill Bush each day, 6 to 9 a.m. We figured Jake would take the deal.
Yeah.
Not surprising to me.
Not at all.
When we come back, we have accountability. I think we all have accountabilities today. I think if you all have accountabilities, you can send them our way and be even more accountable, publicly accountable. 402-951-1620. Be right back and round things out on a Friday after this on 1620 The Zone. Cody writes in on the text line. Think about it with this golf question. Either you win $50 million and never go to work again, or you go to jail and never go to work again. But it's not never, it's 20 years. And then work becomes hard. He says, I learned that philosophy from one of the substitute teachers at Columbus High.
Okay.
That's that Columbus High education.
There were some good subs in the Columbus system.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. You know, Columbus was famous for their subs.
You kind of knew what your day was going to be based on the sub that you got when you walked in.
Sure.
There was definitely the ones that weren't going to talk and just weren't going to put a video in. You had some subs that were going to tell you their life story, even though you'd already heard it the last time they filled in.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had those that were just going to try to actually teach.
Those are the worst.
Generally, those were like the long-term subs.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, I guess we'll try to do this.
Because this is going to be like a 6-month process here.
And then your head's like, you are going to teach me math? I don't think so.
Before we get to accountability, I have this to pass along to you. From ESPN Insights just a moment ago. On this date in 2007, Giant slugger Barry Bonds hit career home run number 756 off Mike Basic of the Washington Nationals to surpass Hank Aaron for the most home runs in MLB history.
Wow.
He hit 756. He went on to hit 6 more that year and is the number 1 home run hitter ever. Can you believe that? Barry Bonds. What a guy.
Good for him.
We all lived through the Barry Bonds era. I heard that the kids are saying on the internet that Babe Ruth is a myth. Have you heard this?
I have heard this, actually.
Somebody was saying Babe Ruth isn't real.
No, I haven't seen that.
Where did this?
I saw it in a
Where
video.
did I see this?
Somebody asked someone at a media day or some crap like that, and they were like, I think it was like a Husker guy.
Yeah.
And they were like, Babe Ruth isn't real. And I was like, wait a minute.
I think what I did is I saw it, I shook my head, and I closed either the browser or my phone and just walked away.
Threw your phone across the room. But apparently the kids are saying that Babe Ruth, or maybe it was Pete Crow Armstrong or something.
Oh, it was Pete Crow Armstrong. That's who it was.
Pete Crow Armstrong said Babe Ruth isn't real.
Which, actually, given who said it, because that guy.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. Yeah, Cracky says it was
There's a lot
PCA,
happening there, but I don't know that brain cells is part of what's happening.
Nice. All right, let's get to our last thing here.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for accountability.
First from a texter from the 402, accountability. My truck is 1,000 miles past due on an oil change, and I'm a mechanic.
Whoa.
So hopefully you use this time when you say it out loud. Wow, that sounds pretty ridiculous. I better change my oil.
Let's get that oil changed.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, maybe it's an old truck and you're testing it out, see how far the limits are.
Like on my last vehicle, I had people that were telling me like, hey, you really don't need this. It's every 4,000 or 5,000 at a vehicle at this point.
Yep.
You don't have to go get the oil every 3.
Well, especially if you get the nice oil. If you get the good stuff.
Well, I think that was they were giving me the good stuff and then telling me I didn't have to come
You
back.
definitely don't need it every 3,000.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just go off of whatever the sticker in the window says.
That's what
I put a ton of faith in the sticker. And when the sticker says it's time to go, I go.
Usually my car tells me.
Well, my car will too, but the sticker is where I'm thinking.
Oh, you don't care about what the car tells you, just the sticker?
I'm not looking at the thing in the car. I'm just looking at I'm putting the mileage that I see in the car versus the mileage that's in the window.
Okay. All right. Accountabilities, folks.
I have a few. I need to be held accountable. I let my lawn get too long and then mowed it yesterday. And it wasn't like a difficult mow, but I put a lot of stress on the mower. It was having to work through a lot of tall grass and chewing it up. And then I did the really lazy thing of I still mulched when it definitely needed to be bagged at that height. Yeah. And so now I've just got a bunch of ripped up grass strewn throughout the lawn that looks like trash.
The less you do
and
it,
then
the
it'll
more
sit there. And if there's a bunch of sun, it'll burn out that spot in the lawn.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I didn't go back through and get a rake and try to spread any of it out. So I basically did the least amount of effort possible on this mow, which is the signal to myself
that's bad
that I have given up on my lawn this year. Normally I can get to October with caring about things.
No.
But I've already I'm not
Never
happy.
give up.
I have 2 different seeds of grass growing in my lawn right now.
Oh, no.
So there's sections that look different even when it's healthy, and it drives me nuts. Because it's new sod. It needs to kind of like work its through a couple years or whatever.
So you're just giving it up.
I basically have just determined it's not a good lawn year for me.
Okay.
We've determined that.
They definitely need some accountability.
Other things to be accountable for. I didn't forget a microphone today, so there's that. I didn't get. I want to get the questions to Joey earlier. I was pretty slow today getting him the free balling.
I was gonna wait for you. I was not gonna ask.
No, I could see you getting antsy over there.
No, I wasn't antsy. I was kind of getting ready to mark you down for accountability.
You'd every now and then you'd see me typing, and I'd feel you looking over there. I'm like, Joey wants me to send this. We're about at 8:50.
No, I'm paying attention, making sure you're gonna turn off your microphone going to break.
Well, that happens.
You've been improving on that.
Joe, I just want you to know.
And I pulled up Mike Schaefer today.
I want you to know that this is how much your stress emanates off of your body. We can feel it. You don't even have to say it. We can feel it.
I started talking with about 20 seconds left in a segment, and Joey's hands immediately moved to where I could see them.
I'm not sure how long you were going to speak.
We know. We're just telling you.
You have some trust concern.
I do.
Which is fair.
Joey, what do you got?
Well, I just mentioned it. I pulled a Mike Schaefer earlier today. I forgot to turn on my microphone when I was supposed to speak during my headline segment.
I remember. That was great.
It happens to everyone.
Yeah.
It sure did.
I did something wrong today. I can't remember. What was it?
Accountability. Well, the Johnny Rogers, which isn't necessarily your fault.
That was Wikipedia.
We did not do the Balls of Steel segment.
Yep. We didn't do the Balls of Steel.
We forgot to do the
we
balls.
Forgot.
We could do now, but it's too late. So
it's way too late.
Too late.
Matt is already looking at us like he wants to murder us. He's like, let me on the radio. I have takes about
I've got
football.
a great idea. We can just have a short crossover, and he'll get more time to talk.
Oh, what a great idea.
We're voting short.
Oh, he's saying no. Don't do that one.
We're voting short.
Interesting. Pedro writes in, hi, guys, accountability. I should be cutting my grass, but I am golfing instead. I will beat myself up later.
Should we hold ourselves accountable for not talking about trees today, the trees of Lincoln?
Well, that's a great thing. We did an excellent thing.
The trees will come
that
up.
Conversation is
I'm going to Nebraska City this weekend. I will come back with plenty of tree information.
Tree takes.
Bring some tree seeds.
So sick.
I bet that's a tree city.
All right. That is it for us today. If you miss anything, 1620thezone.com is where you can find it. The crossover with Matt's coming up next.